fucking with it. I'm fucking with it. Let me. So good. All right, y'all. Y'all see the title of the video. See the title, man. Listen, listen, listen. I appreciate y'all tuning in, of course, as always. Make sure y'all drop some likes, drop some comments. I just got back from the gym. So, let me make sure I can hear myself. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, we good. We Gucci in here, man. Yeah, we just got back from the gym, man. Just got back from the gym. So I was like, you know what? Let me hop on here and really yap, get some yapping done. Because the thing is, a lot of you guys say you want freedom in all aspects of your life and shit like that. And don't worry about the hair. I'm getting a haircut tomorrow. But a lot of people say they want freedom in all these aspects of their life, but they can't even master what they put in their fucking mouth, right? So pause. So you're definitely not gonna get anywhere if you can't, control what you eat on a daily basis. Can't make it to the gym consistently. This is just basic shit, bro. This is not really. It's really not like people may think it's hard. Some people may think it's easy. What's good, Mark? What's good? Some people think it's hard. Some people think it's easy. But at the end of the day, bro, you can't control what you put in your mouth, bro. Pause. Like, you can't control what you eat on a daily basis, your macros and shit like that. You're not going anywhere, bro. You're not going anywhere because that's the bare fucking minimum, bro. That's literally the bare minimum. Like it's not. It's the bare minimum as far as like getting your discipline right. Once you master that shit, your discipline is good to go, right? Your discipline is good to go. You separate yourself, but at the same time, like I said, most people can't control like not only the urges for food, but also like I've noticed liquor and weed. You know what I just noticed to like literally today? I didn't know that weed was legal in Thailand, or at least I think it is because they're selling that shit in the stores. I didn't even fucking know that shit. Right now, most people, and I seen a lot of stories about this. You guys could look up Reddits and shit, but I seen a lot of stories about it. But hella people be smoking weed and like coming over here smoking weed, partying and shit. And that's like the average person. Like the average person gets distracted easily and they can't maintain their discipline. Right? Body game is the pinnacle of discipline. It's a representation of discipline. A disciplined man, bro, you can't control him, bro. He's unstoppable. You see what I'm saying? And that's the key to freedom in general. I got my coffee. We got 33 grams of protein in this. And then I got my haterade. All right. But yeah, man, it's like most people just they can't lock in. What's good, Mike Jeezy? Appreciate you tuning in. I'm a lifetime lifter, 6 foot, 210, confirmed 23% body fat. How big of a difference the way I look, well, I treat going from 23 to if you have a lot of muscle mass at 210, 23%, I mean, if you have a lot of muscle mass and a lot of swag, you're probably getting a little bit right now. But yeah, when you get down to 15, that's a big difference. 15 to 10 also is a massive difference. Those are extremely different. So just watch the process as you get closer to 15, bro. Watch the process as you get closer to 15, how people treat you differently. But your shoulder to waist ratio is the thing that's going to improve the most over 23 to 15. Like the 23%, your waist size is probably around 38, right? Like not your pant size, your waist size. Like if you measured it, it's probably around 38, 37. So when you get down to about 15%, if you have a lot of muscle mass, you'll be around 32, 33 inch waist, maybe somewhere in that range. Um, and be a huge fucking difference. There's gonna be a massive difference. Like obviously your clothes are gonna fit differently, but your muscles are gonna pop more as well. It's a huge difference because the average person is pretty much 23%. You kind of like people who are 20+%, you don't really look like you lift, unfortunately, because that's just how it is. And people are like, oh, do you lift? Like people literally, we live in a vain society. That's what people are thinking. People would be like, do you even lift? Do you even lift? Like when they look at you, that's kind of how it works, right? When you're like 20+% body fat, period. And then once you get down to 10, 15 with muscle mass, people are like, dang, he must lift every day. Like the differences I see every aspect of life, in person, you know, doing regular shit, obviously social media, like dating apps, whatever you want to call it. The difference is insane. All right, because you 15% body fat, you can see your abs. If you Here's the thing, the reason I don't talk a lot about dating apps is because first of all, people don't realize Instagram's the biggest dating app, but also because it doesn't really matter if you're out of shape and you don't really put effort in, right? If you don't put effort into your physique, you're not gonna put effort into your pictures. It doesn't even matter if you have a professional picture and you're 10% body fat and you post it on a dating app. You're not gonna be arguing or complaining. You'll be fine. That easy. All right. Got my milk done for tomorrow. Fried ham with eggs, cheese for breakfast and lunch, plus chopped up watermelon. Good shit, man. Way to stay locked in. A stubborn fat around the stomach is the last to go. Got to be patient and trust the process. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. And that's also like a genetic thing as well. Like where you lose it last. But once you lose it, it's just gonna be like once you lose it, it's gonna be easier for you to it's gonna be easier for you to keep it off. But just losing it, you have to do something your body's never done in order to lose it, and your body does not want to like lose it. Yo, Luth, when you cut calories, how long you ride out before you go lower? If it's been 3 weeks, I hit the exact same numbers every day for 3 weeks, and my waist size doesn't go down. I don't look leaner. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, probably didn't drop anything on the scale. Then I'll go down, right? And if I don't feel like any hunger pains, I feel fine or I feel full all the time. Like for example, if I'm doing 2,300 calories or something like that, and then I get down to like 200, and I still feel full, I don't have any hunger pains. And for the past 3 weeks, I haven't lost any waist size or anything. I might drop it, or um, but I would go to the drawing board and make sure that my steps are the same, that my workouts are the same, and nothing else changed, just to make sure those aren't contributing factors. Man, I just can't gain weight despite eating more than 3,500 calories. Yeah, you're not eating enough, bro. It's literally that simple, bro. It's not that deep. It's not that deep, bro. Go to the gym, eat 4,000 calories a day. If you're really eating 3,500 right now, eat 4,000 calories a day for the next 4 weeks. If you're not gaining weight, then you're just lying, bro. I don't have time for this. I don't like goofy ass comments like that, bro. I literally, yeah. I'm just gonna remove you because I don't have time for dumbass comments like that, bro. I really don't like dumb comments like that, bro. It's just I can't stand shit like that. I literally don't have. Listen, I don't have the patience specifically right now. I do not have the patience for dumb comments like, "Oh my god, like I'm eating so many calories, I'm not gaining weight." Track your calories. You eat more, you gain weight. It's really not that deep, bro. I really hate when people say dumb shit like that, bro. He might be trolling, but I don't have time for the trolling either. I'm just removed him. So I literally don't have time for that goofy ass shit. Would you eat the same if you had to go on a 1 week cruise, or would you cheat on a diet and get back on track when you get home? It depends on where you are in your journey. I wouldn't call it cheating because cheating is a bad word. It's a negative word, obviously, and it's gonna mess up your brain. You can just call it like a diet break week where you eat at maintenance. If you go in it with that aspect, then you'll probably eat more food, but you'll eat high protein and healthier food. But if you say cheat, then you'll eat unhealthy food, drink a lot of liquor and shit like that, right? But um, yeah, what was I gonna say? So it depends on where you are in your journey. Like if you're at your goal, you've been maintaining for a while, or if you've been cutting for 6 months straight, you can use that cruise as like a quote unquote diet break and just monitor what you eat. Go for protein first, and don't go overboard, and you'll be fine. All right. All right. Let's see. Had a long day at work. Got on the scale. Was 5 pounds less. I ate nothing. Drink nothing. Is that really how it goes, bro? Yeah, bro. You can lose more than that, bro. Haven't you guys seen the boxers losing 15 pounds in like 24 hours? It's just water weight, bro. They just get rid of water weight, some muscle glycogen, all that shit, and you'll lose weight. It doesn't mean you're losing fat, right? That's why there's a big difference. That's why people who go in the sauna, they're like, dude, like people always come to me. Their goal is fat loss, right? And they just tell me the goofiest shit. They're literally just telling me all these, temporary water loss techniques. Like, yo, I go in the sauna, bro. It's crazy, bro. I've lost 15 pounds in 4 weeks, and it's like, it's really just like a lot of water weight. And then of course they're doing a lot of cardio, so some muscle glycogen too. But yeah, you can lose a lot. You can lose a lot of weight throughout the day. Just how you can gain weight at the end of the day. So if you don't eat during your whole shift and you're sweating and shit, you're not drinking any water, and you're probably gonna pee obviously. You're literally gonna be dehydrated. You're sweating out shit. You're literally gonna be like, anywhere from 5, 6, 7 pounds less, right? Versus if you eat a bunch of food, eat a bunch of sodium, you might be 7 pounds more at the end of the day, but that's just water weight. Yeah, bro. Every boxer does that shit. Every boxer lose. Bro, you guys remember wrestlers in high school? Wrestlers in high school used to jog around the field, and spit, jog around the field, and then they would lose like 15 pounds in like, you know, one day before their meet. Any tips on bloating? I've been dropping weight, but it sucks having certain days that make you feel bigger than you actually are. It depends on how early you're on your journey. When you first start, like your first couple of weeks, you're gonna have like bloating. You're gonna look kind of soft because your body's getting used to the deficit. And then pushing through that time, you're going to start to look leaner. You're going to start to look better. But those first 4 weeks, your body's kind of adjusting to the deficit. So you're looking a little bit bloated. But also, obviously, water intake high, fiber intake good. Natural to get rid of bloating, like naturally. Obviously, like I said, water intake, caffeine. You can drink some tea at night, like some dandelion root tea or something like that. Where is that? Let's see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much for bloating. But if you one of the keys to bloating, because if you have any stomach issues, what a lot of people have, the more natural food you eat, the easier. It's just gonna be way easier, bro. Like so, if you just keep it with whole foods, you'll be awesome. All right. Hey man, been watching you for a few weeks and content is hot fire. Once on Body Game, what is your own approach with females? Is it mainly just choosing signals left and right and center? For me personally, it's gonna be just a bunch of choosing signals, whether it's in person or online. But like I said, like the shit that I know, a lot of people just don't know because people don't even know. Like I know people say, "Yo, download dating apps, bro." Everybody already downloaded them, bro. It's called Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, but people just don't use that shit, right? Or people don't realize it because it's not happening to them because you don't see that side of it, right? Same thing for chicks. Like you might be like you might be at work, right? Let's say there's chicks. Let's say you're working in a nursing home like I was. There's three dudes working there. All right. I'm the one that's in shape. The other two aren't in shape. So the other two will be talking to, will be talking to the nurses in like the friend zone and shit like that. But as soon as the nurses talk to me, they'll be like flirtatious and shit like that. They'll be, super forward and giving me their number and shit like that because, because I'm on Body Game. And that shit happen all the time, right? But yeah, it's pretty much gonna be choosing signals because you only want to deal with people who want to deal with you. But obviously, if you got like some friends and shit like that, and you guys like to go out, you can go out. Um, my brother likes to do the kind of in person game shit, so he'll like go out with friends and stuff, just hang out at the bar and pick up chicks like that. But you're gonna get choosing signals because you're gonna look way different. So yeah, it just is what it is. Because at the end of the day, when it's time to like go when it's time to go out or whatever, like you can't just magically put on muscle. All right. So when you go out and you're in shape, you're just gonna look different. All right. You're gonna be pretty unique in that situation. But yeah, for me, like I said, man, like I don't think people understand that the reason dudes get mad when their girl likes Instagram pictures is because that's literally how you like the amount of times me and my homeboys on Instagram, chicks will like our picture, three of our pictures, DM us with like some hard eyes and shit, and they're trying to come over. They're trying to fly us out. They're trying to set up a date, like for real, because they're trying to smash. Like it's just like that's how it works. That's literally how it works. It's that straightforward. It's that simple. Like this has happened so many times that it's not even like a theory, bro. Like people don't understand that. People don't know that people don't know that thousands and thousands of chicks DM people first. They think it's not possible because it hasn't happened to them. But that shit, I've gotten DMs first like at least 10,000 times, and that's being very conservative. That's being very conservative. At least 10,000 times. What body scan do you recommend? In body or DEXA scan? Those are gonna be the most accurate. Don't get those smart scales that are like $100 or $200. It's like electrical bipedance scales or whatever the fuck they're called, impedance scales. They literally just check how much water weight you have. So if you're dehydrated, you're leaner. If you're hydrated, you're higher body fat. It's just inaccurate. Lost 8 pounds of fat the last 3 months, but waist size remains around 37. Does that mean other areas are being targeted more and the waist will follow along? Yeah, that's what it means. It means you're losing fat everywhere else first. Now, when you first start losing fat, you'll lose some in your waist because of visceral fat and shit like that. But then, like that last bit of it, like the dude said earlier, you just got to keep going, keep going, keep going. Cheers for your response, man. Much appreciated. Yeah, man. Like, I swear, bro. Like people don't know, because I would say my brother and I got homeboys too. They're really good with the in person game shit. Me, I always ran the online game shit like crazy, bro. Like there's just a lot of shit. It's just super complicated, but it's just a lot of shit that I can just tell off rip, like from online game. Like stuff I could tell off rip. You see what I'm saying? No, 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 bro. You said I ignored tons of them, bro. When I first started, bro, I was a kid in a candy store, bro. I was like, hey, yo, this chick did me. I'll be telling my brother, right? Like the first, it's funny. It's funny because when something happens enough, it just becomes normal, right? It just becomes normal, and it's funny because like I said, my brother's better at like in person game, right? I don't really I don't really be going out like that ever. So, but he's better at in person games. So like the online games and shit, he didn't know what the fuck was going on. So I'll be showing him DMs. He's like, "What the fuck? This is weird. This is weird. What the fuck? What the fuck?" And then like after a while, I just got used to it. It's like, oh, I only got 4 DMs today from chicks. Damn, that's a slow day. Oh, I got 20 DMs today. Okay, cool. Like shit like that. And then I remember he got his first DM and he was like, "Yo, this is crazy." And I'm like, oh, it's just everyday thing for me, bro. I don't really know what you're talking about. So it's funny how when something happens all the time, it just becomes like an expectation, which is another interesting thing about body game. Like the reason most people just don't like get in shape is because they say it's excuses, but it's just misalignment of identity. Misalignment of identities. All right, because if your standards are like, okay, I'm gonna be lean. Like for me, my standards, okay, I'm gonna be lean. So I'm gonna be lean. If I'm not doing things to be lean, I'm going below my standards, but I can't go below my standards. Nobody in the world can go below their standards. So if you're doing something that doesn't align with your goals, that just means your standards are not aligned with your goals. That's all it is. Because no one ever does anything below. Like people don't want to do things below their standards. You might slip up every once in a while. Like if I were to slip up on nutrition like 10% of the time, I'm still gonna be fine. Right? We're human. But if I'm locked in 90% of the time, I'm gonna get to my goals because that's what my standards are. Story time with Luke. New series coming soon. Nah, bro. You know what's funny, bro? I don't even know all my stories. Like I don't know all my stories. The way stories pop up is when like I'll scroll through Facebook, right? Because I'll get a message from a client on Facebook and I'm like, damn, I still gotta use Facebook. And then I'll see some chick that's recommended. I'm like, yo, she looks familiar. And then I remember I was like, yo, and then I remember like a story or some shit like that. Or some chick will watch my story on Instagram and be like, oh, do you remember me? And I'm like, who is this girl? And I'm like, oh shit, I remember that story too. So shit like that, bro. That shit, that shit. Like I be remembering stories just like there's this hella stories I be remembering. But just how you're treated, just how you're treated when you're on body game and when you're not is insane. And you can also see in like your homeboys, because my homeboy had a glow up transformation. I gotta link up with him, bro, because he's in Vietnam right now. But I gotta link up with him because he had a transformation. Like he was out of shape and then he got in shape. His life changed, bro. Like for real. Like he was getting disrespected by chicks, bro. He's getting chicks here and there because in person game and shit. But he was getting disrespected. He wasn't their first choice. And then he pulled up with a baddie, bro. Like it was crazy, dog. It was crazy, 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 crazy. Down 40 pounds last year, good shit. Shadow of War XP list. What does that even mean? All right, hold on. Do you think women who ghosted me when I was fat will gain interest once they've seen me lean? No, I don't give a fuck about that, bro. That's a scarcity mindset, bro. You're not gonna give a fuck about that, bro. You're not going to. You're not going to because they're going to. Some of them will, but some of them will be like, not really. But for me, like when I was skinny, the chicks would they literally just left me on red. I honestly don't think that they knew I was the same person because I got in shape and then they hit me up as if they've never talked to me before, right? And then I'm like literally linking with them like the same fucking day type shit. Like literally, this happened multiple times, bro. But you don't really want to have a scarcity mindset like that. Like, oh my god, I want to spin the block on my ex. Like, nigga, you were a different person when you're with your ex. You're in a new identity now, which means, and you're on a higher level, which means you're just gonna pull higher level chicks. Like, it is what it is. Like when I got out my relationship, I was like, fuck, man. Like, man, I need to lock in. I need to lock in. And then it was just straight baddies, bro. Yeah, what is Shadow of War XP list? What's up, man? In regards to training, do you think choosing between heavyweight and low reps or low weight and high reps matter, or does that even matter? If you're consistent with both, you'll be fine. But I would say always keep moderate to heavyweight because, especially as a natural, keep moderate to heavyweight. If you see someone doing low weight for like 40 reps, they're probably on steroids and it's gonna work for them. But if you're natural, definitely keep it moderate to heavy, which is gonna be in the 6 to 15 rep range. Thoughts on loose skin after a person has gotten in shape? Yeah, you're gonna have to get that surgically removed. If you don't want to have loose skin, I mean, if you're like 400 plus pounds and then you lost weight, it's gonna be very hard not to. But if you're like 300, 350, 300, then if you're lifting weights during the process and focusing on fat loss, you won't have a lot of loose skin. But if you're just doing a bunch of cardio, it's gonna be like, all right, that's insane, bro. Good story, bro. I got so many stories, bro. I'm trying to like. Yeah, I don't think you got like people don't understand, bro. Because there was a stretch of time like you got to realize like before you're on body game, you're like, dude, if I could just pull one chick, and then you get on body game, but then you're not trying to pull chicks, you're trying to work on like you're trying to just work as many hours and stack up, and so many things happen that just it is like every day was a story at that point. Like every day was a fucking story for like a 3 year fucking period, bro. Man, that high you got seeing your body change and that motivating to push harder and never look back. Everything around you changes. Amen, bro. Amen, bro. Because here's the thing. I always tell you guys, people be so focused on the world changing. They want their favorite, football team to change. They want the Dallas Cowboys to be better. That shit ain't happening. They want the New York Knicks to win a championship. That shit's not happening. They want coaches to be fired. They want players to be traded. Stop focusing on shit you can't control. Focus on what you're eating on a daily basis and what you're doing on a daily basis. Simple shit. It's a game was trying to get skill points faster. See, my little brother would know that shit because he knows all that shit. He knows all that shit. I could just imagine the gays you begin walking topless on the beach in Thailand, bro. I mean, I don't even, bro. I got stories here too, bro, and I don't even be doing shit, bro. I be chilling. I be chilling for real, bro. I ain't like, yeah. I ain't even, yeah. Stories low key motivated. It's like that's the other side. Yeah, the other side is crazy, but it's like what people don't understand is that I talk about this stuff, but the people who have really big, like the craziest stories, they don't say shit, bro. Like my homeboys, bro, they just be casually having the craziest stories, and I'm just like, even my brother, they be having the craziest stories, and I'm like, sir, may you repeat that for motivational purposes, bro? Like, what the fuck did you just say? Like, it'd be some crazy ass stories, and they're just casually saying it because it's normal to them because they raise their standards, so it's what they expect. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people that are not in shape, right? So they don't have that genuine desire from their chick. They're happy if their chick, gives them head and shit like that. And it's like when you're on body game, bro, that shit's a fucking bare minimum, bro. That shit's automatic. You don't even think about that shit. But a lot of dudes that are in relationships are like, yeah, man, I'm in a sexist relationship. Or like, yeah, man, she says she doesn't like head. She doesn't like head for you. All right. That's how chicks are, bro. If you're not her type, she's not giving you head. And she's gonna say, oh, I don't give head. I never do that. And as soon as she sees her type, she will. Any stories involving 3 different dates on the same night? Bro, I got I got stories of like 5, 4, 3, of course, 2. Yeah, I got all that shit. Got some crazy shit. Focus on the process and money. Don't worry much about those bras. They're flaky and fickle. Exactly. Focus on what you can control. And then you got to remember, yeah, like that's all it really is. The only issue is if when you're not focused on yourself, your optionality and your life quality goes down to the point you want to keep everything that you have and you have a scarcity mindset. That's where the scarcity mindset comes from. The lack of optionality. I'm making a video on this pretty soon, but let me just tell you this. Let me run an example really quickly. I'm gonna run an example really quickly. So if you are on, and I've been on both sides. The only reason I talk about anything because I've been on both sides. I've noticed a lot of people they talk about like body game and shit. They've never been on the other side. So I'm like, yo, that's pretty cool. Like they were 13 getting hoes and shit, 17 getting hoes. I was cooked at 19, bro. Over like literally deep fried. They're like, yeah, bro, he can't be saved, bro. Throw him away, bro. That type shit, bro. Until I got my isekai transformation, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I born in another world. Anyways, truck cunt. But anyways, what was I gonna say? Damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. In your opinion, why do you think people look for shortcuts in everything instead of putting the honest hard work to achieve their goals, whether it's fitness or money? Because they want everything now because having a better physique fast and having money fast is like it'll improve your quality. It'll literally improve the quality of your life right now. And everything else, that's kind of how it works in today's society. Like you get likes now. You get, Amazon Prime comes 2 days early. It's like, oh, it's coming in 3 days. It comes 2 days early. Like everything comes quick. Pause. You feel me? So that's why a lot of people want it because their minds are kind of trained that way, and it's the easiest way out. Obviously, people will always go for the easiest way out. It's just what the normal people do. All right, because if there's even a promise of being able to take Ozempic and drop fat is the worst shit to take. But anyways, to take Ozempic and drop fat instead of doing the work, everyone's taking that because you don't have to do the work. People are just lazy. People are lazy as fuck. You and your bro bang the same chick back to hell nah, bro. Hell nah, nah, nah. We ain't do that shit. We ain't do that shit. No, we ain't do that shit. We did pass like say, hey man, she's yours, bro. Oh, all right, baby, I'm off, I'm off. Or wait, she's yours. Oh, all right, bet I'm off. Shit like that. We did do shit like that, but I ain't doing that shit, bro. At least not me. Man, real talk. I was been a decent looking guy, but not the best shape. But I had charisma after hitting the gym. You said decent, bro. When people say decent, that means above average. So that means above average. But not the best shape, but I had charisma, man. After hitting the gym, man, the tension's crazy. It's a cheat code, no lies. Yup. But you said you're a decent looking dude already, so it was like you already yeah. Silent Lamont, keep the grind going. Shit would be light work. Lost 15 pounds while watching your videos at work. Seeing new veins again, vascular. Good shit, bro. Wedding day syndrome. Some women get in shape to fit the wedding dress and fall off in the marriage. A lot of guys act like that. So, like I said in the last live, people want different results with the same identity. You see what I'm saying? So if you tell them what the real answer is, they're gonna reject it because it doesn't align with their current identity. So if you tell them, hey man, you're gonna have to change the way you eat, the way you look at food, in their head they're like, I'm not gonna do that shit. I'll find another way. So they do the instant gratification bullshit, like a keto diet for 2 weeks to fit into their wedding dress or to look good on vacation, and they go back to their old habits because they're not willing to change their identity, right? Because at the end of the day, like I said, when you're disciplined, bro, that's the real key to freedom. Like a lot of people say they want to do a lot of different things. All of that shit stems from discipline. Like people are like, yeah, I'm ready to start my business. Like you're fat as fuck. You can't control what you eat. How are you going to control telling yourself to wake up at 5 a.m. when you just want to sleep at 1 a.m. but you need to because you got to meet quota? Like how are you going to tell yourself to do that if you can't even tell yourself, you know what, let me go to sleep instead of eating Ben and fucking Jerry's? Come on now. The nature I'm in the gym now, turning and working these cables. Had to tune in. Bro, man, my top motivators during this journey. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I'm actually surprised at like how authentic you could be on YouTube because I really can't. You really can't be authentic on Instagram or TikTok. There's really unless you go live. When I go live on TikTok, I can talk, but like the content, you only have 60 seconds, bro. Like you can't really say shit. And if you're too authentic, people don't really want to listen to that shit. Is it true doing more reps will get you more shredded than lifting heavy? No, no, that shit is not true. All right, building muscle is going to be in the 6 to 15 rep range. Now, when you do isolation movements, doing higher reps will help. Obviously, especially if you're using that as pre-exhaustion or finisher, then that will help. But like as far as like the heavy movements, like the compound movements, I would definitely say, the 6 to 15 rep range is going to be fine. But like the rep ranges, the macro ratios, the specific foods and shit like that, like people overcomplicate that shit. In reality, like I found out like when I talk to a lot of people and they're just like, hey man, like what's the macro ratio? Hey, what's the rep range? They're just not consistent in any aspect of their life. And then when they go into fitness, they bring that same inconsistency, and it's like they're not going to get results because they're not consistent, right? Because you're not if you're doing say you're doing like four sets to 8 to 12, which you're gonna get fucking results doing that shit if you're consistent with it and you're using the right weight. It's gonna be till failure, right? Let's say you're doing that shit for 3 years. You're now in the top 1% of men, and you're doing what you need to do nutrition wise. My bad. You're in the top 1% of men. It's not even fucking close. It's that simple. Most people are just not consistent though, because technically you can just like you can be someone who's like, I don't really like the gym. I'm just gonna do calisthenics and body weight shit. If you do calisthenics and you take your nutrition seriously, you'll be in the top 1% of dudes if you're consistent. It is what it is. What up, G? What's good? Javante, what's good? Not attractive in high school, then joined the Marines. Had no clue how good I looked after that. Had a girl drive 400 miles across the desert to see me, and then got sick of shit. And then fat. Hey man, hey, that just bro. As soon as you say you had a girl drive across for you, That's what happens with Bodygame. Like people don't understand. People have. If I'll tell you this right now, if you're watching this and you've never been on Bodygame, you've never really seen like a woman have true desire, bro. You've never seen it. If you've never been on Bodygame, you've never seen their true desire. All right, like I got so many stories for the shit, like the flying out and the driving and shit like that. Like I remember, I'll tell y'all a story. I'll tell y'all a story. All right, I probably already said this one, but there was this chick because what I used to do is I used to work out, go to work. That's it. Just work out, go to work. And then some chick would DM me, and I'm like, how dare you DM me? So I'll just leave them on red. And then some other chick would DM me, I'll be like, she got a fatty. Of course I'm gonna answer. So then I would sometimes I'll answer, sometimes I would. It just depend on the day. But a lot of times I wouldn't if I was like working too much. I would kind of like look at it and then forget about it. And this one chick I had left on red, right? I didn't even know I fucking looked at her shit. She was like, "Oh, so you're not gonna see me?" I'm like, "Listen, if you really want us to see me, here's what you're gonna do." And I listed out some shit that I was like, "No one's gonna do this shit." I was like, "All right." I was like, "This is what you need to do. You're gonna get a cast iron skillet, right? You better have a cast iron skillet. I need ribeye steak, potatoes, and you got to drive. I think it was like 2.5 hours on this day." And she was like, "Okay." So what the fuck? And she she slid, bro. I got some good ass steak, bro. That steak was so fucking good, bro. I almost cried, bro. But yeah, that's what happens, man. That's what happens. Simple shit, man. Simple shit. Simple shit. All right, facts. Women be like the energized brothers when they want. I'm telling you, bro. And here's the thing: all of you guys have seen it, but you guys have buried it in your, not even in your subconscious. I don't even know where you guys buried it, but you guys have all seen it. Like in high school, everyone's seen it in high school. Like the jock that's in shape and shit. He got charisma and shit. All the chicks want him. It's the same, bro. It's primal, bro. Simple shit. But another time, some chick was like, "Hey, I have what was it? What do you call it? PTO." Yeah, she was like, "I have PTO and I kind of wanted to just, relax for like, well, she had 1 week of PTO. She's like, I want to relax for 1 week. I know you're busy, but what town are you? And I'll just fly out there." And she flew, bro. I gotta look up the mileage. Let's see how far she flew. Let me look up the mileage real quick because I was in Jax. I'm looking up the mileage right now. Yeah, she flew more than 1,000 miles, bro. She literally flew more than 1,000 miles. You ever crossed the line with a married woman? Me? No, bro. Listen, I don't do that shit. Listen, there's too many chicks on earth to be worried about your ex, married woman, all that shit. Now, as far as chicks and relationships don't even make sense. All right, because chicks half the time, and my homeboys have dealt with this shit, chicks would just be like, "Yeah, we're on a break." They'll say shit like that all the time. You see what I'm saying? Like, I remember, and I'll never know if this chick was actually in a relationship, but my intuition now, looking back, I'm like, yeah, she definitely was. I remember going over to some chick's place, we chilling or whatever, and then like, I mean, I thought I was pretty sure she was single. She seemed like it, because she was hitting me up for a while, and then I was leaving, and I seen her. I seen like a picture of her and some dude, and I was like, "Yo, I didn't see that at night because it was dark as fuck. I didn't see that shit at night. What the fuck? Like it was a picture of her and some dude, but I didn't really think about it then. But then like when I got home, I was like, "Yo, something's off, bro. Something's off, bro." It was interesting. Are you still out the country? Yeah. There's three different exercises for one body part. Enough or not enough? I mean, it should be enough if you're like if you, for example, if you're doing chest, if you do incline Smith, you do flat dumbbell and incline dumbbell, and you're lifting heavy. I mean, your chest is going to be cooked. You see what I'm saying? Especially if you're pre-exhausted too. Now, everyone, everyone that you see on TikTok does the same volume. Everyone you see on YouTube does the same volume. Let me tell you where it differentiates. Some people include warm-up sets. Like I'll make the first couple of sets like my rep ranges are gonna be like it's kind of like a warm up set if I'm pyramiding, or my rep ranges will be high because I pre-exhausted, which basically acts as a warm up set for the muscle that's being worked, right? But people will do warm up sets or they won't count warm up sets. But when you look at both, right, it's the same volume. Like people who don't count warm up sets, they're doing the same volume as people who do count warm up sets are doing the same volume as people who don't count warm up sets. Like it's the same shit. Because some people would be like, nah, that doesn't count as a set. These are my two top sets. People would be like, I'm only doing two sets of six. And it's like if someone else is doing the same workout and they're pyramiding, those warm up sets are counted in their workout. So they're doing the same fucking volume. It's three different. Yeah, yeah. Okay, Derek, I swear to God, you see the different side of women when you get to that side. Yeah, back when that girl drove across the desert, women cheated all the time with me. Five of the last six I dated before I got married were engaged or married. All told me after smashing, pissed me. Exactly, bro. That's what I said, bro. They usually conceal that shit. So it's not like you're like, oh, it's not like you go to marriedwoman.com, bro. Like you literally just see a single bitch, bro. Wait, you'll see chicks on dating apps too. Like I remember I met this chick on a dating app. I thought she was single, but she would kind of like slide through sometimes and then not slide through sometimes. And I was like, oh, I don't know why she's inconsistent. Oh, well, has nothing to do with me. And she knew I didn't care, which is why she dealt with me in the first place. But then like I remember on her, I think it was her Snapchat story. She was like, I'm so sorry you passed away. And she was like, like this relationship was everything to me. And she was like in a 2 year relationship or some shit. And I think it was her husband passed away. And I was like, what the? Yeah, it was just crazy. Listen, I agree with whatever David Goggins does. All right, no questions over here. No questions asked. All right, he knows what the fuck he's doing. Now, obviously, since he's running like a gajillion miles, he has to. If you do CrossFit or you run as much as he does, you have to do way more stretching than anybody else. It's not even close. Like, cause that's insane. And he's probably still in shambles. Like, feels like he's in shambles. Like, if you run that much, you have to like constantly get massages, do ice, like actually do ice baths. Because all this ice bath shit to like boost your testosterone, that shit doesn't matter. But like if you train pretty hard, or if you're like training, like when you see the boxers train, they're doing like three workouts in a day, but it's not like they're not doing workouts. They're like dying every time they're training. All right, they're like in the hyperbolic time chamber three times a day, basically. So they're doing ice baths. If you're doing a regular leg day or a regular chest workout, you don't need fucking ice baths and shit like that. It's a shame you'll never really know a woman or yourself if your body ain't right. I mean, it sounds so vain and it sounds so dumb. Like it did when I used to hear that shit. I was like, your body doesn't matter. No, it's just luck, bro. It's like when I talk about this shit, you're never gonna know until you do it. Like it's insane, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like it's crazy. Every time I meet a chick, bro, they always looking at my chest and arms, or like just feeling on it and shit like that, feeling on my abs and shit, or just like straight up, bro. Didn't even say hi. Like that's just the initial. That's just how it is. And then it's basically a conversation starter. I remember when I was in Houston, I went to the store, right, and I was wearing like a stringer because we just came from Alpha Land, so I was wearing a stringer, and some lady literally just stopped me in my tracks and was like, "Oh my god, your arms! What do you do?" Blah blah, and she just had like a whole conversation, like spitting game type shit. Yo, Mister Yo himself. the CEO of Yo, man. Yo.com's founder, bro. All right, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Everyone talks about the importance of protein. Me being on the cut, not being around 230, I literally eat 110. Yeah, that's hit 180 to 200. Yeah, hit the 180 to 200. Don't do 110 some days. Don't do 110 some days. That shit makes no sense. All right, be consistent. What did I say earlier? What did I say earlier? Be consistent. What's the body count, man? Bro, I'm a virgin. How dare you ask such a question, bro? We all know, bro. Just in case my mom sees this, I'm definitely a virgin, bro. Like that's crazy that you would even ask. That's crazy. I would never do such a thing, dude. That's crazy, bro. I mean, dude, everyone knows, bro, that me and Tim Tebow were best friends. We're both waiting till marriage. Like he's looking for a woman, I'm looking for a woman. Like, come on, bro. Definitely a virgin, bro. Come on, man. 200 unk. That's about Muay Thai training. Bro, my bro, I literally bro, Muay Thai training, bro. If you do basic moves, I'm not even in the training phase yet. I'm literally just doing basic ass moves, bro. If you do basic moves, you're just gonna die. Like it feels like it literally feels like you're jump roping for an hour straight. Which obviously jump roping for 5 minutes is easy. Jump roping for an hour straight is ass. But it literally feels like you're jump roping for an hour straight. But then you're like lifting your arms. What's the difference between 110 and 190? I mean, you're gonna maintain a fuckload more of muscle, and you're gonna build more muscle as well. Like 110, you're just gonna get skinny fat, and then you're gonna have loose skin, and then you're gonna be mad when you reach your weight goal, but you lost muscle in the process. So you definitely don't want to do that. You definitely don't want to do that. All right. So yeah, lock in on the fucking protein intake. Listen, what people need to do. You do know the only thing I talk about is like literally nutrition because it's 80% of results. All right. So if you don't hit the protein number, if you're not eating zero point 0.8 to 1 gram per pound lean body mass, then you're gonna lose a lot of lean body mass. It's just that simple. All right. I mean, you could try to recreate the formula and experiment on yourself, but when you get that saggy loose skin and you're pissed about how you look, don't look at me, man. It's really not that hard to get protein in, by the way. It's literally easy as shit. It's really how you look at it, though. If you think getting protein in is hard, then it's hard. If you think it's easy, then it's easy. If you think eating on the go is easy, it's easy. If you think it's hard, it's hard. It's that simple. It's not. It's that simple. Like I said, eating on the go is the easiest shit, bro. If you can't hit your protein, spam some fucking protein shakes. Spam some protein shakes. What's the 20%? Of course, working out, sleep. You feel me? Working out, sleep, and yeah, consistency. Consistency is pretty much. I mean, consistency is assumed. If you're not consistent, you're cooked. But yeah, workout and sleep. That's like and water intake. That's pretty much the other 20%. But yeah, man, stay locked in, man. Because here's the thing. Like I always say, there's a 95 and a 5, or how Napoleon Hill says 98 and the 2%. If you want to be in the 2%, you got to start doing shit that you're not always comfortable doing. Like most people, when they say, "Bro, I didn't have time," or "I couldn't do that," it's just a lazy ass excuse. Or "Dang, I messed up this week." How do you mess up? How do you mess up in a week? That means you're not in your right identity. If you're in the right identity, how the fuck can you mess up? It's literally impossible. Literally impossible. Adding 100 push-ups every morning, waste of time. It's good for discipline, but I mean, yeah, for discipline, it's good. But what else? Are you trying to like build your chest that way? It's just good for discipline. That's it. Definitely have to be more consistent when it comes to sleeping. More core exercises. Yeah, maybe I'll start doing core exercises. I said that like 5 years ago, but I mean, I work it with the squats and stuff. But maybe I should do some more direct core work. Who knows? But sleep is definitely one of those things. Like the way I look at sleep is how I look at macros. All right, I don't expect 8 perfect hours of straight sleep because if you've ever paid a bill, if you've ever worked a job, it's gonna be pretty hard to get 8 hours of like straight sleep off rip. It's just gonna be hard. So I look at it as adding it up and then averaging it out, kind of like your macros. Like if you skip breakfast one day, but you get your calories in, you hit your protein, you're good to go. If you only get 5 hours of sleep, but then you get a 2 hour nap here, you're pretty close to eight. You're good to go. You see what I'm saying? Or you sneak in a 30-minute nap here, and then an hour and a half nap here, or some shit. You're good to go. Because it's kind of hard. It's pretty hard to just get that 8 perfect hours. I mean, obviously, when you prioritize and focus on it, it'll get better over time if you're just like really focused on it. But getting that 8 hours just depends. It always depends on the situation, right? Because if you're in a busier phase of life when a lot is going on and you're gonna have a period of time when you have less sleep. It is what it is. You'll have less sleep, right? And then there'll be another period of time where it's like everything's running smoothly and then you're getting that 8 hours of sleep. Because morning routines are supposed to adjust slightly, keeping the same core elements to make sure that you're getting the highest return on investment. All right. So, for example, if your exercise regimen ever changed, if your nutrition ever changed, you're still going to be eating whole foods and high protein with your nutrition, no matter how it changes. Right. And if your exercise regimen ever changed, you're still going to be doing compound movements. You might be doing a different order, or you might be doing different machines because you changed the gym. Right. You might, instead of doing a pec deck, you might do a cable fly. Instead of doing incline barbell, you might do incline Smith. You see what I'm saying? Instead of doing flat barbell, you might do flat dumbbell, but the core elements will stay the same. All right, Javante, just type your stuff into a calorie calculator, bro. You should be trying. Listen, if you want to lose fat, here's the bare minimum. You're hitting the gym 4 to 5 times a week, which everyone could do. I don't care. Everyone can do it. If I did it working 80 hours a week, then you could fucking do the shit, right? I had clients working 100 hours a week. How did they do it? Magic, right? No, they just prioritize that shit. All right, so you should be lifting weights 4 to 5 times a week minimum. That's just basic shit. All right, and then you should be tracking calories, protein, carbs, fats. This is also bare minimum. That's not impressive. That's not unique. That's not hard. All right. Getting sleep 6 to 8 hours, like I said, and then water intake. It should be a gallon. These are not negotiable. This is not like, oh, like I couldn't get a gallon this day. You just don't want it bad enough. You don't. You just don't want. You're not gonna get the results. All right. Those are bare minimums. Do you train forearms directly? That's a great question. I throw it in on my, some arm days sometimes, but the guy that I've seen with the biggest forearms, I asked him for advice. Like, this happened multiple times in gym. I was like, "Yo, what do you do for forearms, bro?" They're like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Bro, what do you do for forearms?" They're like, "I don't know. Maybe it's the deadlifts." I'm like, "Nah, bro, I deadlift more than you. It can't be deadlifts, bro." They're like, "Oh, I don't know." She I enjoy doing prison style workout, 25 down dips, 15 pull-ups, 30 squats. Am I missing anything by not lifting weights? I've trained my whole adult life and just prefer training. Bro, you train that way and you eat healthy, bro. You'll be fucking. Yeah, you'll look great, bro. You'll look great. The only thing you're missing is that most people can't do 25 dips and 15 pull-ups and fucking, yeah. Most people can't do that shit. All right, most people can't do that shit. But you'll be engaging your core in those movements. As long as you do progressive overload by taking shorter breaks or doing more reps, because obviously you can't add weight. But yeah, if you ever want to put on some like a little bit more mass, then you can go to the gym for sure and just switch it up if you want to switch it up. But you don't have to. If you prefer that and it's sustainable for you, then you keep doing that. What are some things that annoy you at the gym? I swear people spend more time on their phone hogging those benches. I am a professional at going to the gym when it's not busy, so I literally don't have any issues ever because I go when it's not busy. I will go to Google and look up the gym and then look at the busiest times. Obviously, it's going to be between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. I just don't go during those times, no matter what. I'd rather do an at-home workout than go. I'm never going to gym at those times, so I just don't deal with gym problems, or I'll just find a different gym. How do you deal with leg days? I be pain 4 days after. Yeah, that always happens. That always happens, bro. That always happens. Especially when you first start. If you do too much volume for like, because if you're still sore after like 3 months of like doing leg days, then you might just have too much volume, or you might not be getting enough sleep or enough protein, some shit like that, right? Yeah, it could be one of those things. But if you still struggle and you feel like you're getting sleep and protein, you can throw in some yoga, throw in some electrolytes. It also depends on if you're cutting. If you're cutting, recovery is also it's gonna take a little bit longer because you're cutting. Yeah, I literally do everything but the protein, and I drink half a gallon of water. I feel like it's harder for me to hit protein than 6 gym days a week because nutrition is harder for everybody than working out. Because people overlook nutrition, they don't think it's serious. They're like, "Man, I'm working hard in the gym. This is great." Who cares? Locking on nutrition. If you're not locked on nutrition, not doing the bare minimum. It's not that deep. It's like applying for a job, and you're like, "Dude, I really deserve this job," and they're like, "We require 3 years experience. You have two." No, no, no. But like, could you just? No, dude, you don't have the bare minimum requirements. That's how it is with this fitness shit. Like people always say like, "Yo, like, how can I get fast results?" I'm like, "How's your nutrition?" It's bad. Why are you asking then? Why the fuck are you asking for results if your nutrition isn't perfect? Because your nutrition being good is literally not. That's not impressive. That's not something that's rewarded extra. It's literally the bare minimum to get the results you're looking for. You see what I'm saying? On God, I try to go super early. Also, yeah, avoid, bro. Always avoid if you have issues in the gym. Always have multiple gym memberships, but also just avoid busy times because busy times is just gonna. It's just not unless you're going to like a gym where there's just you get inspired by seeing a bunch of chicks' asses or some shit. Like if you're one of those dudes that be getting inspired and shit. Like I saw a TikTok where they're getting inspired because chicks had like big asses and shit. Shit was funny. What's good, man? What's good? What's good? What's good, man? Yeah. Cut out the sugar and you won half the battle of eating healthy. I don't really. Let me say this, guys. Let me say this. When it comes to nutrition, I swear to God, you can really, like, for the average person, the issue is literally just consistency, because a lot of people, most people, have healthier days of eating than I do. It's not even close. They have the most beautiful days of eating that I will probably just never have. But they have the most diabolical days of eating as well that I could never have either. And they do that more, right? And that's why they're stuck at like 30, 20% body fat, because they'll be like, yeah, man, they have the most beautiful day of eating. It's overkill. It's definitely overkill. It's like they'll eat like salads all week, like, no, I'm only doing salads for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then they hit their protein, zero carbs every day, right? Maybe from the salad and stuff, like 20 grams of carbs. So 20 grams of carbs a day, and that's it for like 5 days. And then on the weekends, they're drinking margaritas and they're eating 1,000 grams of carbs per day, overcompensating. Like, that's what most people do. It's just very common to do that, because you could, like, if you eat pretty balanced, you're going to be relatively lean. Like, being around the 20% body fat range, which is, most people are like 28, 5 to 30 years. But once you get to around like the 18 to 20, 15 to 20, you can be in that range and eat relatively decent. You're not eating as locked in as when you get down to the tens. You see what I'm saying? I'm on a cut. I know there's days when I'm stronger, days when I'm weaker, or just can't lift as heavy. That's normal, boy. You just got to push through mentally. Push through mentally. Appreciate you, Javante. Appreciate you, man. Unless you're like 100 pounds overweight, getting in shape is pretty easy. Just hit your calories. And it's not. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, whether you're 20 pounds overweight, 100 pounds overweight, 200 pounds overweight, it's all the same. It's all the same thing, because that 20 pounds feels the same as that 100 pounds feels for the other person, right? Because once you don't like what you see in the mirror, once you've been in that identity for long enough and you've reinforced that identity, it's going to be hard for you to get out of that identity. But like I said earlier, if you change your identity, you can't have a bad week, because when you change your identity, you do what you need to do because you're in a new identity. It's that simple. All right. If you, like, for example, if I'm lean, well, I'm the leanest version of myself, right? So if I skip the gym for 4 weeks and I eat pizza and bullshit for 4 weeks, and I'm smoking weed and drinking alcohol for which I've never done before, I'm doing all that stuff for 4 weeks, I'm gonna think it's identity theft, right? And if I told my brother that, he'd be like, "Oh, okay, someone stole Luther's phone or some shit like that." That would be identity theft. I just can't do that because that's just not me. So I can't have that happen to me. It's literally impossible for that to happen, because that would be identity theft. That's not me, bro. That's like, so I see a lot of people like that. They'll be like, "Man, I'm just struggling to do this and do that." Change your fucking identity, align with your new identity, and it's gonna be easy to execute everything, because you can't execute something that doesn't align with your identity. So if you're doing something you don't want to do, then you're thinking how you don't want to think, which means your identity is your old identity, or closer to your old identity, not your new identity. It's literally that simple. Because, like I said, if I don't go to the gym for 4 weeks and I'm not like hurt, like, I don't go to the gym for 4 weeks and I'm smoking weed and like drinking alcohol, it's literally, I don't even know how to do that. I literally don't know how to. Like, you'd have to teach me, right? And that's another thing. In order for me to, like, you have to teach me to eat unhealthy consistently. You have to teach me to skip the gym. You have to teach me to smoke weed. You have to teach me to be lazy. Like, you have to teach me, right? Which are things, like, I used to be lazy as shit. Used to eat like shit, right? But when you actually outwork your doubt and you're consistent, you start to create your new identity. The reason you do habits, the reason you have a routine, the reason you say affirmations is to work on your subconscious to create this new identity, right? You're creating this new identity and you're aligning with your goal self. And then using discipline and being consistent, you're going to outwork all of your fucking doubt. And then when someone says, in the beginning of your journey, if someone said, "Hey, have a cookie," you think about it, you'd be like, "Oh, and I can't really right now, man. I'm like trying to change things, you know." And then, like, they say that a year later, like, "Have a cookie." You're like, "Shut the fuck up, get away from me." And then 2 years later, they're like, "Have a cookie," and you literally ignore it, and you didn't even realize they said it. It goes in one ear out the other, shit like that. 24 Hour Fitness here in Cali is so run down, broken shower, dirty ass bathrooms. People still, bro, go to Planet Fitness, bro. The good thing about Planet Fitness, they're in nice areas and they're in the hood, so it just depends. Pro tip: I use ChatGPT. Tell me what high protein, low cal. The cheapest thing to do if you're trying to save money on food is gonna be the bulk buy, bro. Go to Aldi. I mean, you don't have to go to Costco and shit, but go to Aldi's or Walmart, bro, and get rice, regular fucking rice. Get a bunch of bananas, get potatoes, get chicken breast, get ground turkey, get all this shit in bulk. You know those they be having 5 pound ground beefs or ground turkeys that are like they expire in 2 days, so they're like $5 off. So then you put them in the freezer. It's like it's and you're only gonna buy food once, so you'll spend a lot of money at once, but it's gonna be way less than you would have spent throughout the week getting fast food and getting chips and getting all that goofy shit that people get. Most people, most people get all that stuff. Most people get like they're like, dude, I can't spend 150 on groceries, and then they spend 200 on drinks on Saturday. But since they're drinking and they're drunk and they swipe their card when they're drunk, they don't really fucking realize it. Happens all the time. Do you believe in man gaining? Yeah, man gaining works. It definitely works. And the thing is, you gotta account for like the plus or minus. Like there's gonna be like a plus. There's gonna be like a plus 100, plus 200. So you'll technically be in a lean bulk, right? Because lean bulk is not supposed to be 500 calories, by the way, guys. It's supposed to be like 200, right? So if you're main gaining and you have one refeed day every 10 days or one cheat day every 10 days, then you're basically in a lean bulk. All these better than Whole Foods, bro. Whole Foods is literally 3 times the price for no reason, just because they feel like it. Motherfuckers at work get mad if you don't eat the donuts the bros button. After saying no a couple of times, they stop asking. Hell yeah, man. You got to set your boundaries, man. Set your damn boundaries. Organic and grass fed, competitive prices, better produce where I live too. Yeah, I mean, if you really don't have any if you really don't have any money, don't even worry about the grass fed and organic. You know what I mean? I'll listen. And when I go to the store, bro, I don't give a fuck what it says. It could say 15% rib meat. If it got the protein in, I'm eating that shit. I don't give a fuck. And the thing is, here's the thing. I'm gonna say this one more time. Listen, if you're the U.S. being overweight makes no fucking sense. There is like now that I've been at 4 other countries, I don't see any options for. There's not as many high protein, high fiber, low carb options in any store as there is in any store in the US. Like every store in the US has like the most protein options ever. So being fat is literally your choice. Like I don't know how anyone's out of shape in the US. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I think it's easier to be in shape in the US because everything's high fiber. And then there's 93.7, 99.1, there's 97.3. You got all these options. So I don't fucking know, bro. I don't know how people are out of shape. Makes no sense to me. Literally makes no sense. No sense. And they're like, oh my God, the food is unnatural. There's seed oils. Um, you're not gonna gain fat unless you binge eat the Oreos. I see your carts. Your carts have a bunch of Oreos and chips. That's what's making you fat. Overconsumption. Overconsumption. You're not eating in a calorie deficit, high protein, and not losing fat. Like it's just not happening. So I don't understand when people are like seed oils in America. Oh my God. It's I swear to God, from my personal experience, it is way easier to eat healthy in America, bro. It just is. Everything's high fiber and high protein. And there's literally like, damn, bro, I don't have time, bro. Oh, 5 minute high protein shit. Throw it in the microwave, throw it in the air fryer, get some protein shakes. Like it's easy, bro. And at gas stations too. So I don't know. Like people, I don't know how everyone's fat as fuck in the States, bro. Like, I mean, actually I do because I would go to Aldi's and I would be getting, the meats paws, and then I would be getting like the eggs and stuff, and no one else was. Some people were getting the stuff, and but not really. And you go to Walmart, you can see it. It's just it's really the culture's lack of accountability, to be honest. That's what it is, and the laziness and the delusional like nature of just it's really the culture. All right. How do you cook chicken breast without making it dry? I got to stick. Listen, my brother makes the best chicken breast. He uses a cast iron pan, or you can use a grill. If you don't want to use any of those, just do boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Bro, can you get a whole rotisserie chicken for $4? You could just gotta eat it or quickly. Shit is a steal. I finally made it to a lot. Let's go. Hey, yo. Well, that's a very unique take. People in the States always complain that our food is making us fat. It's our choices. Bro, bro, I don't know anywhere like, where else in the world you go to the gas station and it has 55 grams of protein, 42 gram of protein shakes. Like, what the fuck, bro? That shit doesn't exist. With low carbs too. Like, it shit just doesn't exist anywhere else. It doesn't exist. And you can go to Chick-fil-A and get grilled chicken nuggets. Like what? This shit's crazy. Shit does not exist, bro. Like it does not exist. Listen. I'm fighting for my life getting some protein in this motherfucker. I mean, sticking protein in because it's just easy because it's what I do. But yeah, so true here in Colombia is pretty bad trying to find high fiber, high protein options like that. Yeah, man. So it forces you to go to like, I mean, obviously it forces you to spam berries. Like that's the reason I always put like berries and almonds in meal plans because I had someone in the Bahamas, I had another person in Virgin Islands, and like they're just like, yo, we don't have any of this fucking shit. We don't have. They're like, yo, what is this stuff, bro? We don't have ground turkey. Like that shit doesn't exist anywhere else. Like America's the easiest place in the world to eat healthy. It's not even close, bro. You can. Here's the thing. If I go to America, I can walk in a Walgreens and have like the health. I can be good for the week. Have high protein and like solid meals. You see what I'm saying? Like I'll have solid meals from a fucking Walgreens, bro. Like over here, bro, it's like you got to eat. I mean, the steak is gonna be it's imported, so it's gonna be super expensive compared to everything else. You got to eat a lot of eggs and steak, and then just the fruits. So I don't like U.S. is insane, bro. I just can't believe that people like I don't know. Like that's why when I like with the high fiber like the high fiber wraps, it is so easy to stay full because your fiber's high and the calories is like it's a joke. If you ate three high fiber wraps, that's 150 calories. Like where does that happen? That it doesn't exist anywhere else. I legit watch you to confirm that I'm not. This stuff is not hard to eat healthy or work out. It's a cultural thing, man. Because the cultural, listen, culture and societal expectations dictate your identity, which dictates your actions. That's where the issue stems. It's not the actual. It's not like the action that's the problem. It's how you identify and your mindset. Like there's a lot of victim mindset in the United States. So it's like any problem that they have, it's not their fault because that's victim mindset. Never seen a fat Asian, but they got yo. Let me tell you one thing, bro. Let me tell you one thing. There's a trend going on TikTok where girls are saying they're like 5'3", 180, 5'4", 190, 5'2", 170. Now they're thick and most of it's in their glutes and their hips and shit like that. But I mean in Asia, like 5'3", 150 is considered like super chunky, bro. Like that's considered super chunky. Bro, I was on a flight to Vietnam. I had the highest BMI there. My BMI was like 25 or 26. I easily had the highest BMI there. Now, not the body fat percentage, but the highest BMI because people were like lean, like moderate muscle mass, low muscle mass, and low body fat. Everybody, like, yeah. My family's Trinidadian. I went a few months ago. They're hella slim, fit for the most part. As you said, the grocery stores were limited in what they had. Yeah. Nah, bro. Go to TikTok. There's a trend, and a lot of the chicks are like 5'2", 5'3", 5'4", 170 to like 200. Now, for some reason, I don't know what they're eating, bro, but the shit all goes to the glutes, bro. It goes to the glutes in their hips and stuff like that. So I can't defend my people, bro. We in the comments, bro. We in the comments like there's some Hellcats on sale or some shit, bro. We in the motherfucking comments. The niggas are like, oh, I'll get that. Oh yeah. Hey, and then you got some old niggas in there. They're like, hey, what's all that movement back there? It's like, oh my gosh, bro. Damn. 1970s, everyone looks thin and good because they're just outside working out and they're not on their phones and shit like that. And they're just like, if there were no dating apps and everyone worked like 30, 40 hours a week and it was like more people were more friendly and shit like that, then yeah, like it would be more active out there, man. It would be more active out there and shit like that. But listen. I'll tell you this. Listen, I did date a chick, bro. She was like, was she 5'9"? She was like 5'9", but she actually worked out. And I always confirm. Listen, if you want to know if a chick works out, I'm gonna tell you this. This is the secret. All right. Hopefully, no chicks are watching this because then they're gonna take this secret. This is the secret to know if a chick works out. First of all, obviously, if she has a fat ass, go do squats, and if she can actually squat, it's like okay, this bitch is real. So this bitch can squat. She was. I was hitting like 315 for reps, and she was doing like 275. I was like, yo, she really does this. But lat pull downs, bro. Now, regular lat pull downs, and don't correct them. Let them do the same. If they do it right, they really work out. And then make them do a one arm seated row, and make them do a one arm lat pull down. If their form is legit, then they actually work out. So this bitch actually worked out. She was like 5'9", 180, all in her ass and in her quads. But it was muscle, bro. She actually had muscle. She had no fucking waist. Her waist was like 27 or some shit. And her ass was like, that's another story. But anyways, so yeah, muscle does weigh something, but yeah, like those 5'3", 180s and shit like that. I mean, it was like most. Here's the thing: since most chicks who hit the gym eat a lot of food, they have a lot of fucking muscle mass, but they do have a lot of body fat too. But they have a lot of fucking muscle mass because they be spamming weights, and you got to realize they're like constantly bulking. You see the health situation in the states turning around. The younger generation is pretty good with the health, like they're not drinking as much, but it's just gonna take too long. It's gonna take too long because my generation is cooked. All right, like I see all my I see all my high school all my high school friends and stuff like that. Because if you follow the blueprint in high school, you're going to be in significant debt, and you're going to be eating till you're full, literally eating until you're full. So it's like it's got because obviously it takes time. So since this new generation is coming up, they're going to be decently healthy, but then the generation after them is going to be a little bit more healthy. Not mentally though. Mentally they're gonna be cooked. But then they have to have, they have to have kids, which you're probably not going to because they're seeing like the Shannon Sharp situation. But if these next few generations have kids and then teach those kids and everything starts going in that direction, then there's potential. But it's gonna take too long. It can't be short. It can't be short. Did you date Serena Williams, bro? Nah, she was African, but she was light skinned. So I thought she was like Spanish or some shit. She looked Latina, bro. I remember this story is funny. So we was walking to the gym, right? This what was it? Chicago. It was either Chicago or New York. I can't remember. But we were walking to the gym, and I promise you, bro. I was like, yo. I know there's gonna be some niggas say some shit, bro. So we were walking to the gym, and there was some black dudes in like an old Cadillac, and they were driving by and they seen it. They're like, yeah, this shit was so funny. What's the difference between the 2 liters of water versus like a gallon? To be honest, if my piss is clear, it's my sign that I'm hydrated. Bro, just drink a gallon, bro. Stop making excuses, man. Stop making excuses. Anyways, is my split decent chest, shoulders, tries, push, pull, legs, and then abs and cardio. That's a decent split. If you take a rest in between, but that's a decent split. Nothing wrong with that. It's really just about how sustainable that is for you, and how consistent you are with it. Because any aspect of life, I don't care what it is, you can try to be like the greatest knitter of all time, right? Or basket weaver. It doesn't fucking matter. If you're consistent, you're gonna be the greatest basket weaver they've ever seen. It's that simple. Just progressive overload that shit. Like if you like my Instagram, let's just random example. My Instagram DM game, bro. Shit used to be ass, but I took thousands of shots, and then the shit got better. That simple, right? No, no, listen. Here's the thing. You know what I love about this? So, okay, so I used to go live on TikTok for like 2 years straight. And if Amza's in there, she already knows. She already knows, right? And there was this guy, bro. His name, Zach. I don't know if he's here too, bro. There was this guy named Zach, bro. He made excuses for like no, it wasn't 6 months, a year fucking straight. He asked the same question for a year straight. I cussed him out for a year straight. And then he didn't show up for like 3 months. I was like, damn, did he die? And he came back and he's like, yo, I finally stopped making excuses. I dropped 30 pounds because people make excuses all the fucking time. I've never seen, I'm waiting. I'm very excited. I have my pen ready. I'm waiting for a decent excuse. I've never seen it. And the thing is, people with actual medical conditions generally use that as motivation, and they hate when people try to, identify them as that medical condition. So they work extra hard to make sure that they're getting results. You see what I'm saying? Like I've trained people who have Cushing syndrome, right? Which is very hard. It's actually hard to lose fat when you have Cushing syndrome, and they still lost fat because they're like, no, no, it doesn't matter. I have it, but I'm just letting you know I have it for medical purposes. Okay, cool. I had to mute his ass. Yo. Yeah. All right. People on TikTok say you don't need body game. You just need to have personality. Yeah, of course they say that, bro. Bro, on social media, you have to say nice guy. You have to say personality. You have to say that shit. That's just how it works. You have to put your. That's just how it works, bro. That's how the game works, bro. And here's the thing. Here's what chicks do, bro. It's the easiest shit test. They're just like, yeah, have a personality. I love dad bods. This is that. It's a shit test. If you're dumb enough to follow that shit, then they're just gonna be like, oh, he's not attractive because he doesn't think on his own. He doesn't have the mind of his own. He just listens to what the fuck I say. Why would you listen to someone when they say you don't need to have your body in shape? It's literally like when a doctor looks at you and they see a stomach hanging over, they're like, oh shit. It's gonna be a long visit. Okay, listen, you have type 2, you have this, you have that. Like that. It's basic. It's a sign of health, bro. It's literally like when you're in shape, a chick is like, okay, she wants to have kids with you because you're in shape, you're healthy, you take care of yourself, you have fucking standards. You're out of shape, you're cooked. It's not deep. It's not deep. Did you ever feel like you transitioned from the old you to a new you? I'm 28 and a lifelong nerd. Went on a date with a nerdy girl and realized she would have been perfect for the old me. Oh, but she's not perfect for the new you. That's actually interesting. That's actually interesting. So I would say my my general my general mindset and well, everything changed because like I said, it's like an isekai transformation. So for me, when I like fully stepped into the new me, I got a tattoo of a black rose, which symbolizes like death in in mythology, just to symbolize that like I'm done with the done with the old me. So every time I look at that shit on my forearm, it's like I'm done with that shit. You see what I'm saying? So when I shifted into that, I would definitely the dating pool changed. So you know. But I mean, nerdy girls are always a W though, bro. They're always a W because there's too many thoughts these days. So nerdy girls always a W, bro. But yeah, maybe your habits or your hobbies change or some shit like that. But for me, I'm still pretty much like the thing that's maintained the same. My awareness has obviously increased. My awareness for human nature and just how everything works increased. But my general like nerdiness, love for anime, reading books and shit like that is still there. Because like I said, I'm not reading as much as I used to. I used to read 25 like fiction books every summer. So when people came to the library and they're like, "Hey man, what do you think about this series?" I'm like, "Well, what are you really looking for? If you're looking for a vampire series, let me tell you something that's really great." And then I'll just point them to that or some shit like that. You see what I'm saying? So, but I still read books and I still like watch anime every once in a while because that's those things have stayed, right? But just my general perception of stuff has definitely changed. Is a guy on solid body game with a small following, let's say 2K followers, still going in messages, or do you need to build a following? That's a good question. With the state of Instagram now, if your shit goes viral, bro, like chicks are gonna hit you up. You know what the most interesting thing about life is, bro? Is like on TikTok specifically, 2020 to 2022 TikTok. If you went viral, you're just getting bitches, bro. You're getting bitches because bitches are at the finish line. So if you went viral, they're like, oh, this nigga's him, and they'll like you, like depending on your virility, So I'll have a bunch of chicks hit me up because I went viral or some shit, right? And then you link with the chick or something. And then my homeboy went viral or whatever, and I'm like, yo, why is she in his comments, bro? Oh, this is before she met me. I'm like, oh, she for everybody type shit. You feel me? Like chick. Here's the thing: chicks are not. I'm not gonna say chicks are for everybody, but they have a type, and when someone reaches that type, they reach out to them. You see what I'm saying? So to you, you might be like, yo, these chicks are thoughts. They're thoughts for the right dude. You see what I'm saying? So if a chick likes a lean, tatted black dude over like 6 foot or some shit like that, then she's gonna mess with me. My home, she's probably gonna hit up my homeboys. I know who she's following off rip. When I go to her Instagram, I know the 10 people she's following off rip, and they're always following them every fucking time. You see what I'm saying? Or if I'm like messing with a foreign girl, I'm like, she got some stereotypes. She's probably following Jason Love. 90% of the time, they're following Jason fucking Love, bro. And I'm like, yo, shit is a fucking joke. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. I'm not gonna lie. All right. I've been taking that Ron Wills. He knows, bro. I just seen him for some, bro. This whole fucking time. So I've seen like four other creators talking body game. I thought they created this shit. I didn't know. I didn't. And then I look at Ron Wills. He has videos from like 10 years ago. I'm like, yo, he's been talking about this shit. That's crazy. Because I was telling people about this stuff, but I didn't have anyone to reference them to. Before I started being consistent on YouTube. So I was like, well, you do see the difference because I saw the difference. They're like, yeah, but I don't know, man. Maybe my personality changed. I'm like, yo, me, I don't have a fucking personality, bro. So it can't be personality changing, bro. And they're like, you're right. Because I was like, bro, the shit I be saying, bro, the conversations I had with chicks, bro, if I was not on body game, they'd be like, yeah, he's an asshole. Like, what the fuck's wrong with this dumbass? Like, why would you talk to someone like that? That's what they would think, right? Straight up. You could ask my brother, bro. There was one chick, there was one chick that used to come over, bro. And she was annoying, bro. But she was kind of bad, bro. But she was annoying as fuck. So I literally my entire conversation, I would spam the same word at least 100 times. I would just tell her shut the fuck up like 100 times, bro. Swear to God, that's all. So my brother would be like, oh, she's over because hear me say shut the fuck up. I said that shit like 100 times. That was my entire conversation with her, bro. I was just like, bro, shut up, bro. Like I couldn't deal with her for long, obviously. Can we see it before and after? Go to my Instagram. Instagram. Not gonna lie, I'm probably the youngest guy in this team, 19 years old. Yeah, when I was 19 years old, bro, I was pre Isekai, so I was still cooked. You see, I was one of the most cooked people on earth. Naruto over a favorite show, or you were smart. Yeah, my I don't know if they do honors points, but my HPA was like what 4.6 or some shit, 4.7, some shit like that. 25 and summer super impressed. Yeah, I was a nerd, man. Like but I was able to read textbooks too. Anyways, the camera's about to turn off pretty soon, so it's just gonna be sound only. Just letting y'all know, it's gonna be sound only for like 20 minutes before I get this other stuff done. Yeah, it's gonna be sound only. Why is my thing always on? And by the way, I figured out that I have to put this on 1080p instead of 4K for it to stream longer because 4K overheats like crazy. Why? I don't know because the streaming output on OBS is still 1080. Like even if you put it in 2160, it just gets compressed and it's 1080. So why does it matter if it's on 2160? Anyways, the sound's gonna continue. The video's gonna turn off. It's dead. All right, sound's continuing though. But anyways. Back to the point of this video. I'm 33. Bro, you got 2 years before you hit your prime, bro. You got 2 years before you hit your prime. You said you're 33. So, man, I'm gonna tell you this because you know what's funny? This is only an American society thing, by the way. This is the funniest shit on earth. Like, for some reason, they act they act as if younger chicks don't love older dudes. Dude, younger chicks will roast you if you're broke at 18 and they'll go for the 30-year-old. Like, it's just normal shit. Or they go for the 35-year-old. So all this Shannon Sharp and this Bill Belichick shit, it's normal. It's the oldest profession in history. It's like gold digging's normal shit, bro. It's normal shit. It's just the most normal shit of all time. But yeah, 33, you still have time, bro. You still have time, bro. You're still young. Our prime is 35 to 65 because you got to realize, like, it just elbow. When did he become when did he become that dude? He became that dude, and he was on the front cover of shit when he was like 50, even though he was probably trying to act till he was like 18. You see what I'm saying? How old am I? I'm a unk, bro. I'm a certified unk. Moving on to crazy freeze frame. Hey yo, listen. I can't change the free. How do you change the freeze frame? I can't change it. It is what it is. I had to turn off the damn thing. But anyways, crazy free frames. Hey yo, 31 trying to my best to unlock my sage mode. Hey, yo, yeah. That's actually not like I don't know why people think. Well, actually, I do know why people think 31 is old because for a chick it's old. All right, for a chick it's old. 31 is old for a chick. All right, because there's everyone knows like when you're 18 to 30, that's when the chicks are most wanted. You see what I'm saying? Normal. Normal shit. But yeah, like these chicks, bro. Y'all need to get out and have some conversations with these chicks, man. These chicks will if they know if a chick knows that you're like a cool dude or like you're on body game or she knows you get hoe, she'll talk openly with you, bro, and you'll just start learning shit. Like a lot of chicks just yapped to me, and I learned a lot of shit from chicks yapping, right? Because they'll tell me the truth because they know I don't give a fuck, but they won't tell someone else the truth. Like I said, this chick that she would break up with her boyfriend, come to me, and then get back with him, and then break up with him, and then come to me, and then I would hit her up, and she's like, um, "Aren't you dating like three of my friends, and you have like a girlfriend?" I'm like, "What does that have to do with me hitting you up?" And then she's like, "Okay," and then she'll just slide over. But like, anyways, um, she would be like, she would tell me everything because I didn't give a fuck, right? But if I did give a fuck, she wouldn't tell me anything because she would feel like she's getting judged. Like a lot of chicks feel like that too. So her boyfriend, that's probably what he saw every time they finished the break and got back together was probably like um her being like, "Oh my god, of course I didn't do anything. I wouldn't hook up with anybody. I was just waiting on you." Like that goofy shit. You see what I'm saying? Anyways, back to this. I did want to talk about this Shannon Sharp shit because this shit is like ridiculous. This shit is like ridiculous. Your camera froze? Yeah. My camera died, bro. It died. But you can still hear me, man. I'm still yapping, man. The yapologist is still here, man. Yapologist is still here, man. But yeah, like I said, the Shannon Sharp and all this other shit. Every chick that's in the comment section, I guarantee you she's on a sugar daddy website or some shit, and she's like 18 or 30, or she's getting hit up by like Facebook dudes that are like, "Hey man, I'll fly you out for 6,000." Like, come on, bro. This is normal shit. All right, I'm 28, and when I go on dates with 26-year-olds, they seem a little old for me. Listen, it really doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, it also depends on what. Like, here's the thing. I will tell you this because I dated a 28-year-old that was in a 7-year relationship, so she was on relationship shit. I mean, obviously, she's always gonna like that. That's way too long of a relationship to be honest. At least they didn't get married, but that's a long ass relationship. So like the chicks that I've dated that have been in relationships and they have both their parents, you can tell off rip. I can tell. I can tell off rip when a chick has both her parents. Like it's so easy to tell. Like I was talking to my brother about this shit too. You can just tell. I don't know how we can tell. Maybe I'll know the specifics one day. Maybe I'll know the specifics. But it's like there's a lot of different signs and symptoms and shit like that. Right? I can just tell off rip. Like when a chick has a mom, when a chick has a mom that's still dating, and she was only raised by her mom, I could tell that shit too. Like those are certified thoughts, bro. Certified thoughts, bro. Certified thoughts. How's your night going? It's good, man. Chilling, chilling, chilling. I've been big as life for the longest, but I was still super clouded and had girls in high school. Yeah. Listen. If you had chicks in high school, you're already ahead of me, bro. What, bro? Come on, bro. listen, I had unchicks in high school, bro. I had chicks make it like clarifying that they don't want to be with me, even though I didn't even look at them. Just clarifying. They just had to clarify the shit. They're like, listen, just in case you thought you had a chance, you don't. Like they didn't have to say that. They did not have to say this shit. But this is real, like this is real life true stories, bro. Multiple chicks did this shit. Why? I still don't know to this day. I don't know why they said this shit. Like they just maybe they're having a bad day. And they're like, I'm having a bad day. Let me go to the lowest level of humans, which currently at that time was me, and let me go cook him. And they just cooked me. Maybe it gave him a confidence boost or some shit. Let me open this Gatorade real quick. Gatorade. But yeah, you guys all know this shit. You guys all know this shit about Body Game. You might see people at work getting treated better. You have to really think about it. You have to think about it. You have to think about it. It's like, why are they getting treated better? It's probably something to do with Body Game, bro. You're gonna get more respect if you do. If you're constantly on Body Game, what are you doing? You're disciplined. That is gonna earn respect. And then people were like, oh, that's not discipline. That's not. It doesn't matter. It's like they're not doing it though, because they can't. You ever came across any of them now that you had a glow? Like I told y'all, bro, when I got posted on the shade room, bro, at least like even they were even in the comments like, "Oh my god, I went to high school with him." I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. We're not gonna do this. We are not doing this. You guys, listen. I went to high school with y'all. Y'all roasted me, bro. Y'all roasted me, type shit." But yeah, like after I got posted on the shade room, at least like I promised to God, like almost 100 of them like DM me. Besides like the other hundreds of DMs I got, shit was crazy. They wouldn't believe the glow. I did. I was gonna spin the block on one of them, but then she had a jit, so then I just ghosted her. And then she kept hitting me up, so then I blocked her. All right. They be trifling his life, especially them dark skins. Ridiculous. Those hotties in high school are now single moms with 4 kids still in the hood. Amen, bro. Why is that so common, bro? Those hotties in the mid, no, the mid chicks too, bro. It's the same shit, bro. They're in the same hood. It's almost like, I don't know, bro. It's crazy. I think you don't even need a crazy physique, 12% with some muscle. Here's the thing. The market determines what crazy means. 12% with muscle is crazy. 12% with muscle is crazy. All right, because that's way above market. That's way above market, bro. And here's the thing: if you have 3 years of consistent lifting and you've built 3 years of muscle, and then you're at 12%, you're gonna have a V taper, man. You're gonna have a V taper. Wait. ASL is as hell. I thought it was as life. Holy shit, dude. No way, bro. I drink 2 Powerades a day. That's enough electrolytes. You think you probably don't need that unless you're not gonna lie. You probably don't need that unless what was I gonna say? Yeah, you don't need that unless you're like training like 3 times a day. Like you don't. You can just do like you could do one. To be honest, you'll be fine. You'll get hate too though. He thinks he's all that. Yeah, bro. That's how it be, man. That's how it be. That's why you always got to do what's best for you. Because as a successful dude or as a dude who's on your shit, you're always gonna get hate, bro. You're always gonna get hate. Now, like I said, we'll talk about what's his name. I don't remember his name. There was a dude on here, bro, and I was making videos. When I started making videos when I was consistent last February, he was like, "Yo, bro, I support you, man, man. That's what's up, bro. Keep posting, man. I appreciate you, man. Keep posting." And then 6 months in, I literally don't know why I didn't. I posted the same thing. He's like, "Bro, appreciate you being authentic." He would DM me and stuff like that. I'd be like, appreciate it. And then like promise, bro. Like once I got to like 8K followers, he started saying like some just some hating ass shit, bro. I don't know why, bro. There was nothing to like to prompt it. He just started saying some hating ass shit. He's like, oh wow, watch you only get 200 views. I was like, I don't care if I get 200 views. That's a lot of motherfuckers, bro. That's more people than I see in a fucking year. You feel me? I was like, that's straight. I'll take it. But then he'll get like 1,000 views or something like that. But then he was just hating for some reason, bro. But like the hate from dudes is gonna be there, man, in different ways. Bro, especially if you're big on social media, bro. Dudes are gonna be scary to like. They're gonna be scared to bring your girl, like their girl, around you. Like the funny thing is, anytime I hang out with my friends who have like girlfriends and stuff like that or fiancés, the fiancés always looking at me. They're like, you can't hang out with that nigga for too long, all right? You can't hang out with that nigga for too long, all right? Because we already know, bro. He's a little bit mischievous, all right? He's a little bit, but no, like the hate from dudes is insane. It's insane. It just is. They relied on their looks. Yup, facts. Exactly 3 years at 12% doesn't take much to get or maintain. That listen, that's subjective about how long it takes. Like most people can't do that shit. If most people can't do something, I'm not gonna say it's easy. It is simple and straightforward. But like I said earlier, it's an identity shift that people aren't willing to make. All right. Like I said, you have to get to the point where you're consistent. I'm gonna say it again. You have to get to the point where you're consistent and you make your new identity you, to the point where if you do something that's against it, it feels like identity theft. It has to feel like identity theft, bro. Like I said, if I drink liquor for honestly, if I drink liquor 3 days in a row, that would be insane for me, bro. Literally insane. I would probably text my brother and he'll probably like, he'd probably call 911 or some shit. Like, okay, like, dude, like we're doing whatever we can, man. Like, I don't know what's going on. It's just so unlikely because it feel like identity theft. It doesn't align. For on campus today, some dude put his girl around his arm as I was walking past him. Shit is great, bro. That shit happens all the time, bro. I told y'all, bro. Like when me and my homeboy, I like to use this LA example because it was so funny, bro. It was so funny because we was okay. So we worked out when I went to LA, right? We worked out like 4 days in a row, and we were just walking across the street. We both had tank tops on, so all the hoes was looking at shit, but the first day was at like night, and there was a dude in there with his girl, and she was just staring at us the whole time. And the dude was like gonna get mad, but then he looked and he was like, "Yeah, they do look way better than me. I guess I'm cooked." And he just kind of accepted it. But then the next day, we were working out in the morning, and my homeboy was like, "Yeah, it's kind of empty in here, so I just be kind of working out, man. Like sometimes I just take my shirt off." And I was like, "You know what? I'm feeling pretty lean, bro. I'm for to take my shirt off." So we was just working out, shirts off. The sun was hitting. And the chick, bro, like they were getting a tour, right? Some chick and her boyfriend, they're getting a tour. So the chick turns around the corner and she sees us, bro. And I listen. I was like, yo, the eye contact was crazy. I was like, yo, eye contact that crazy? Do I count that as a body, bro? Like I have to count that as a body, bro. The eye contact was brazy, bro. And she looked at both of us, and then the boyfriend looked. He was like, "Fuck, bro," because he was obviously he was maybe 20% body fat, but he was a lean. You know what I'm saying? My homeboy played college football, so he like 8%, but he got a lot of muscle and shit. You feel me? So yeah, and we both had haircuts. The sun was hitting, bro. I mean, I was like, damn, bro. I'm sorry, man. Sorry. And by the way, one thing that really made me realize a lot of this shit, and nobody talks about social media shit, which is probably the biggest thing. No one talks about social media shit, but just TikTok in general. Like when TikTok first came out and I was posting going viral, everything I posted was getting like 100K, 500K, million views, but I was getting like literally 15,000 comments, 10,000 comments from girls in relationships, girls in marriages, and then they would hit me up. There was a married chick, right? She was bad, um, and she kept hitting me up, hard eyeing me, follow me on Instagram, messaging me every day. And like every day she would post her husband, be like, "I love him so much, he's everything." And those same days she would just hit me up. And there was a chick, she was hitting me and my homeboy up. He was closer, so I was like, "Hey, bro, you might as well hit it, bro." And then like a day later, she comes out with a relationship, and she's like, "Oh my god, it's been a year together with some dude who's like a downgrade from me and my homeboy." And I'm like, "What the fuck is going on? How do your how do your brother bench 225 for 10 reps, weighing 165?" I think he was 160 to be honest. But it's just consistency, bro. If you want to getting stronger at bench is the easiest thing in the world. You just be consistent. No one does that. Period. Now, I don't want to get stronger at bench because I rather build an aesthetic chest, not just flat bench. But if you want to get stronger at flat bench, if you were to do 4 sets of eight, 4 sets of six, every single workout, and then you increase the weight by 5 pounds every 2 weeks, and you actually do it consistently for 2 years, you're easily adding 150 pounds to your rep weight, your weight that you rep. Like it's that easy. But nobody's doing that shit. That's why I don't talk about like getting stronger at bench. When people are like, "How do you bench 315?" Have you ever even tried? Like if that's your one intention, put all your energy on it. It's gonna be easy, right? But when your intentions like aesthetics and stuff like that, you're not going to focus on that. Jason Lovin is the original body game. Facts. But what the hell is Haitian food? I drove by a Haitian truck and my window was down. I almost had to get me a plate. Shit is crazy. Nah, bro. Don't do it, bro. Bro, hey, bro, Haitian food, bro. If you eat Haitian food, you gotta fast for like 7 days, bro. I'm not gonna go. Two questions. One, do you wear contacts? What's your skin? Okay, yeah, I wear contacts, but I can't see shit. What's your skincare routine? Should be glistening. Pause. Hey yo. Now I will say with when I had a beard, bro, it was the skin on my face was easier because when you razor your face, bro, and you get like your face cut all the time, like you got to actually put like some Cetaphil face lotion on that shit. You feel me? So I be putting Cetaphil face lotion. I usually use tap water. To be honest, I'm pretty lazy. So I usually just use tap water, but I do have on hand. I have some Cetaphil face lotion now. If you have a beard, all you got to do is put castor oil and then wash it out. You know, once a week at least. Wash it out like shampoo your beard. But honestly, the castor oil is just gonna act as like an antibacterial and keep it moist. Pause. All right, body game story. Hey, yo, what's good, Isaiah? What's good, man? I'm in college, so I went to this frat pool party. Q dogs. I took my shirt off, and the huzz was saying my body was tea glazing the fuck out of me. And frat niggas started hating all night. Yo, you better be careful at those Q dog parties, bro. You better be careful. By the way, guys, Q dog parties taught me a lot. All right, what you need to do, bro, is go to you need to go to a white. You know what's funny? You got to go to a white frat party, bro. It's the complete opposite. Like a black frat party, bro. It's like all the all the um all the chicks are there for the dude. Like if a chick wants an aggressive dude, she's going to the Q party. They're all, bro. I went to the Q party, bro, and I was mesmerized because I didn't know a lot. Right, I was talking to this chick. Right, I actually had mouthpiece back then, bro, because that's all I had. I was skinny as shit, so I was using mouthpiece. She thought I was a Q, and I was like, yeah, 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 blah blah. And she's like, are you a Q? I was like, no. She turned around and ignored me the rest of the night, and then very shortly after, some big ass Q dog picked her up and took her to the room. So then I was like, what's going on in there? So I like walked back. I kind of like looked in the house and they're like, watch out, big dog. I was like, no, I was just looking around. And I'm looking and there's like this back room where the Q dogs are taking all the chicks. So if that's why I say if your chick went to college and you're like, if your chick went to college and then you're dating that chick and she's like 26, she's gonna look at you like you're not a Q dog, you're not a football player. She been through all of it, bro. She been through all of that. All right. Period. Positive canthal tilt. I don't even know what that means. How do you feel about protein powder? Is it okay to drink like 4 shakes a day with one big meal? No, I would definitely get some real food in there too. But like as far as protein powder, you could do probably like 2 scoops a day, but you want to get fiber, you want to get nutrients from food as well. All that shit. But yeah, I went to two frat parties and when I was at FAMU and I learned a lot of fucking shit that I thought I would never even see. Like when you see some shit that you don't expect to see that you didn't know you can see, you're just like, what the fuck is going on? That shit makes you question life. And you know what? You know something that changes your identity the fastest? Like when you first of all grocery shopping, like when you say you're going to eat healthy and you start going to sections and you start getting shit like horseradish and 93.7 like ground turkey, and you look at the back of it and then you look at the back of the 73.27 turkey and you see the difference. Small things like that are going to change your mindset, right? Because those are pretty big moments. The big moments. What's a Q dog? A Q dog is someone that's in Omega Sci-Fi. It's a fraternity. It's the purple and gold fraternity. They actually gave me a scholarship, right? So I went to like their church in high school because they gave me like a scholarship to go to school because I had like a 4.0. I feel like you and James have lived 20 lives, stories for days. Who is James? James? Joms? James? Jamies? Who's James, bro? It is Jamies or is it James? Yo, you ever thought about this shit? James kind of looks like Jamies, bro. That's crazy. But I do have a lot of stories, bro. Like the shit. There is so many stories that I don't even know the stories exist. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even like. There's so many stories I don't know they exist until some shit comes up, bro. Like some shit comes up. Cause you know the funny thing is like okay for like my birthdays and shit, chicks will get me stuff for my birthdays, right? And it just makes me it just automatically accidentally makes me get more chicks because they're like, oh my god, like I really like the smell of this cologne, or they'll be like, I like this or I like that. Oh my nigga James, my nigga James, there he is. Okay, there he is. Yeah, listen, James is the original Unk, by the way. James is the original Unk. All right, James is the original Unk. You know what's funny, by the way? But since I had an isekai transformation, a lot of my stories are condensed in a very short period of time. I mean, they're still going on now. I mean, I got stories now and shit, but I mean, I'm not gonna look back at these stories now because I mean, until the future because I'm currently living it, so it's like I don't really pay attention to it. When I look back at some stories, I didn't know any of my stories were crazy until I started talking to my cousins. They're like, hey man, how do you get, chicks on Instagram? And I'm like, bro, you just use technique number 31. And they're like, bro, what the fuck is technique number 31? I was like, dude, you don't know technique number 31? So then I taught them technique number 31, and they're like, That's never happened to me. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, and to me, it's just a normal thing. It's just some shit I would tell my older brother. I'd be like, he'd be like, bro, how did you get that chick? Is that not the chick from yesterday? And I was like, I don't know which one it is. You can ask her name. I don't fucking know what it is. Ask her name so I could remember. And then he would ask her name or some shit like that. I'd be like, oh yeah. So I definitely used technique number 31 on her. And he'd be like, what the fuck? But yeah, I didn't realize that until um my cousins they were asking me questions like, yo, wait, who's that girl? How did you do that? And I was like, well, like my main technique ended up being like, yeah, James is 26. So he's actually younger than me, guys. He's 26. It's a typo, by the way. He's 26. But anyways, how old am I? Yeah, I'm about I'm actually a vampire, bro, so I'm like 1,000. But anyways, um yeah, like my cousins would be asking me stories, and I realized it wasn't until they asked that I realized like most of the situation that I was in is like my main story was that, oh, I was working and working out, basically super focused on working and working out to the point where these chicks would hit me up and I wouldn't notice their DMs, or I wouldn't know their advances in person for months and months and months. So they would think I was playing some kind of game or hard to get or some shit, and I didn't even realize they existed. And then when I finally realized they existed, and I'm like, oh, wow, this chick's been responding to me for a while. Let me go on a date, and that's kind of how we linked. Yeah, I was on Facebook for 4 days. Yo, listen. You know what's funny about social media shit, bro? Like I told y'all, bro. There was there's a the fucking technique number 31. Listen, we could listen. I usually use technique number 7 because that makes more sense, but 31 works too. Like it's just it's technique number 31, bro. But you have to be patient to use it, bro. You have to be patient to use it. All right, you got to be patient to use technique number 31. Now, most people don't have the patience. All right. Now, I also don't intentionally. It was an unintentionally created technique, by the way. Body game plus financial freedom equal great life. Being broke in shape, no fun. So here's the thing: if you realize, yeah, hey, yo, I still use Facebook in 2025 because we're certified unks. All right, if you use Facebook right now, you may be, you or a loved one may qualify for UNC status. Right, that's amazing. Congratulations. I'm definitely a certified UNC, right? Because they checked my UNC status. They're like, okay, your age is there, but do you have a Facebook? I was like, yes. They're like, do you have an AOL.com? I'm like, yes. They're like, okay. When you go to search something in the search engine, you type in Google and then type in Google into Google, and I'm like, yes. That makes you an UNC. That makes you an UNC, and that's why I'm one of the greatest UNCs of all time. Too many techniques are out there. I only have so I'm actually gonna I'm actually gonna when I go back to the States, I'm gonna link with my brother because he's good with the in person shit. I don't do in person shit because I don't like seeing humans. But that's just me. So I don't like seeing humans. But I'm a take some notes from his in person shit, and I'll probably share some of those stories. Because he likes to yap in person. I don't really like to yap with the drunk. I don't think I've ever like been on a date with a drunk person. Like I can't deal with drunk people. I can't deal with drunk people. So like so my brother can deal with that shit. Like I just can't. Like when a chick, like usually when I go out with my brother, a chick would come up to me. They'll come up to me and be like, "Oh my god, like you, are you on the football team? Like you look so good," and shit like that. And I'm like, bro, like you're so drunk, bro. Like you are bad, but you smell like fucking liquor. I don't fuck with drunk chicks, bro. Like I just don't do it, bro. I just can't do the shit. AOL. I sold stock on AOL in the mid '90s. Oh man, you might have to apply for UNC status again then, because that's definitely a requirement, man. Got to have AOL, man. Got to have AOL. Now you may be able to get in the UNC status with Yahoo. You may be able to. But yeah, there's a lot of techniques. There's a lot of techniques for like the thing is for some reason, the most untapped place on earth is like TikTok. And people, I don't think people know that you could DM people on TikTok, bro. I didn't know that either until I started getting DMs. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like in 2021, I remember there was like some, because I was going viral like a lot. I was getting like I said, I was getting like 500K, 200K, million, 2 million, 3 million, 500K, 100K views on like any video I posted on TikTok. So then there was like chicks DMing me on TikTok. I'm like, who are these chicks? I was like, I hate getting DMs from out of shape chicks. But then I went to the DMs and it was all baddies. I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Like, yeah, it's crazy. We need a tutorial. End up with yeah. I don't even know about the current state of shit is actually a joke. Like, I would say the current state of shit is a joke because the fact that shit like the Shannon Sharp situation is actually gonna go to the core is just it's the dumbest shit of all time. I do not understand it, bro. Like all that stuff, it's literally like girls get bored and they remember some shit from like 30 years ago. They're like, you know what? I'm down bad right now, and this guy, I dated him in high school. Let's just say he assaulted me. Let me find a lawyer, and they just do that shit. I think it's the dumbest shit of all time. All right, what's your biggest three tips for attraction? Biggest three tips. Listen, I would say combine. I would say for the average person, combine like in person stuff, like going out and being social, and then online presence as well. Like combine those two, of course, but also work on your looks and give a fuck about what you look like. Have standards, obviously. Take care of your body. That's gonna be like number one, honestly, because if you have great game and you're cool and everything's going good, but like the chick's just not into she's not into you because your stomach's just hanging out. It's just hanging out of your pants, and she's just not attracted to you. Then everything's gonna be hard. Like the thing is, interactions with chicks when you're actually like in shape and they're attracted to you is so different than when they're not attracted to you. Like, and I have literally at least 100 story times on that shit. You feel me? It's like way different. Like if a chick's not attracted to you, then you feel like you're working. You're like, dang, things aren't working. I need a better mouthpiece. It's like, no, bro. Nothing you can say can build genuine desire from her. It's just not gonna happen. You're cooked. All right. What's your thoughts on weed? Don't smoke weed, bro. Unless you have your life together and weed helped you get that, which I've never seen it besides Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg. Then don't do it. All right, because a lot of times weed makes lazy people or makes people lazy or than they usually are. TikTok fame. Yeah, shit's crazy. Like people joked about TikTok. That shit is insane, bro. Breakup advice. Have you dealt with one? Yeah. So with breakup advice, bro, just use like obviously you're gonna reflect on it because you're human, but definitely move past it. And work on yourself as much as you can and get back out there. And you're gonna start to over time. You're gonna start to realize, like, oh shit, like I'm glowing up, and I didn't know I had this much optionality. All that shit, bro. All that shit. Best baddies are the Filipinos at nursing school, right, LV? Who said that, bro? Who said that? Filipinas? Who said that? I think one thing guys are lacking is a hobby that shows their intelligence and creativity. I'm about to turn my IG page to my art page. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's actually true. That's actually true. And if you're lean or some shit, if you're lean and you like show yourself doing art and then you show like the after, but you're like wearing like a button down or some shit and you have like a haircut or some shit like that, then like yeah, that'll even make it even better. You know what I'm saying? That'll make it better. Because a lot of times with the algorithm, if you appeal to chicks, they push you in the algorithm and comment on your shit. And then that ends up working for your business. Someone's gonna buy your art. And if you don't want to sell your art, they're gonna force you to. They'll be like, yo, please, please, I really want it. I saw it inspired me. Good smiles are a hidden technique, boy. Straight white teeth are rarer than you think. Yeah, that's true. That's true. The thing is, what I would say about attract here's actually the best type of attraction that I had to come to a realization to. All right. And this was I've said this before, but this was comparing people in a relationship to people not in a relationship. So here's the thing. If a dude is in a relationship, right, he's constantly trying to appease his chick, right? He's constantly stressed out about appeasing her. He might be failing a bunch of shit tests, lowering attraction. He might be getting out of shape because he's eating what she's eating and she's packing on weight too. You know what I mean? He might be acting more feminine because he's always around her. He might be more lazy, like skipping the gym and shit. Versus I'm not in a relationship, so I'm working on, I'll be working on business, I'll be working on my physique. So I'll be leveling up, right? I'll literally just be leveling up. When you level up, what does that mean? You have higher value, simple shit. So now she goes to the gym because her boyfriend's been slacking. So she goes to the gym and the boyfriend's just at home eating pizza. She goes to the gym and she sees someone like me or she sees someone else. She might see hopefully she doesn't see my homeboys or my brother. She's cooked if she does. Um, but anyways, like she might see one of us at the gym and she's like, damn, they're so in shape and they're so dedicated, they're so locked in, they're so organized. Like, why can't my man be like that? You see what I'm saying? She'll have that fear of missing out. Um, but you have to realize that you always want to work on yourself, even if you're in a relationship. All right. I know most people's goals is like, damn, if I got a relationship, I'll be good. Damn, if I got abs, I'd be good. Right. It is the journey that like the journey is constant. All right. The journey is constant. When you get to where when you get to where you wanted to get to initially, You appreciate it. You realize that you're capable of anything, and then you set new goals. It is what it is. All right. Now, if Michael Jordan won a championship and he's like, "Oh my God, this is amazing," and he just retired, like we wouldn't be talking about him. He wouldn't have influence, right? Just like in the Troy movie, my favorite line of all time is when you know Agamemnon sends someone to tell Troy that tell Achilles that he's needed, and the little boy is like, Achilles, you're really gonna go fight? He's a big and scary man. Why would you go fight? Or some shit like that. And then Achilles is like, listen, young boy, that's why no one will remember your name because you're too scared to fight, basically, right? You're not willing to do what others aren't willing to do. You're basically a bitch. Like that's what he said. Nick number 11 was Invisalign in Mexico, and it was a game changer. You don't want crooked teeth. Yo, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Once I got my teeth straight, bro, like the amount of chicks that said shit like, "Oh my God, are you wearing veneers?" Like that shit, yo, that shit was crazy. And then we can get into the whole like the whole. I don't think people understand this shit either because most people haven't done this. But yo, the whole like South Florida gold teeth shit is like I don't think people realize it. Like you'll be so. The movie is Troy. I watch it on every flight. Lord of the Rings or Troy is the only thing I'm watching on the flight. All right, and I'll be bumping some music while I'm watching it because that shit be lit. Because I already know what the fuck they say because I watched it so many times. But anyways, the whole like um because you got to realize like a lot of chicks want a certain look, right? So if you're just going after like some lustful shit, then and you're in a college town, then you're gonna have a lot of like different chicks that want a certain look like that. They might have seen like let's see, they might have seen like some rapper or some shit with a certain look. So if they see you with that look, that's what they want. They might have seen a frat boy with a certain look. So that if you have that look, they want. They might have seen some football players with a certain look, and if you look like a football player, they're like, "Fuck it, I'm fucking with him." Like that type shit. Like a lot of people do that. Girls be loving titles. It's literally a hack. Just having friends with benefit. I'm a man of God. Yo, that's the smartest shit of all time. Listen, the amount of chicks who do some crazy shit and then they go to church the next morning, or the amount of chicks that have OnlyFans, but right above it says God first. It is insane, bro. It is insane. Like having the OnlyFans link and having God first right above it. That shit, like I don't know, bro. That's got to be like an automatic, like you're not getting into heaven type shit. That has to be automatic. Troy, Immortals, and yeah, Immortals is a good movie too. Yeah, you have to fit a popular archetype to get the most results. Or like you just have to find what style works for you. And when you feel confident and you like it, you're kind of gonna fit into some kind of art. You might mix like three archetypes accidentally. You see what I'm saying? You might fit like three archetypes accidentally. OnlyFans should be banned. Hey man, these dudes out here, man, they funding that shit, bro. That shit ain't going nowhere, bro. Every day, I tell you guys this. I know none of us believe it because we don't know where these people are because they're in their houses whacking their shit, obviously whacking their meat to oblivion. They have calluses. Because at the end of the day, obesity rates going up. OnlyFans subscriptions are going up. That is what's going on. That is the reality. We have to operate in reality. That is exactly what's going on. Obviously, when OnlyFans started like a couple of years ago, I was like, oh yeah, this shit's gonna be done. Like it's not gonna last, because there's freaking free shit out there, so this shit's not gonna last. But hey, shit's just growing every year. So yeah, petition to ban OnlyFans and Crumble. Petition, bro. We need a petition. But yeah, man, that's just how that that's how that shit works, man. And listen, I wanted to say one thing though. I wanted to say one thing because I've seen, like I told you guys, in when I went to the doctor because I was like, yo, this was like 4 months ago. I went to the doctor and I was like, yo, I can finally get like an EKG. I can get an EKG and all these tests. Let me just run all these tests, make sure everything's good. So I ran all the tests. Everything was good, obviously. But when I went there, when I went to the actual doctor's office, like no one else went there except people who were like, who had STIs or some shit because they were fucking around in Bangkok and shit like that, right? So I met like six dudes in there that are like, yo, they're like, bro, you're burning too. I'm like, listen, bro, I'm not burning, bro. Like, what have you guys been doing, bro? Because that's the thing, bro. When it comes to discipline, bro, that includes sexual discipline. All right. That includes sexual discipline. All right. And most people don't have that. So when I say body game, right? That assumes that you're being disciplined in all aspects of your life. That means if you have 100K in debt, you're working on getting that down. You're progressively overloading, paying that off. Cool. You're progressively overloading your workouts. Cool. You're progressively overloading, your sexual discipline, right? No more corn, no more, no more any of that shit. Now, here's what actually happens, all right? This is how I know people don't semen retain, bro. This is how I know everyone lies about semen retention. Everybody is lying. Everybody's lying about this shit. If you actually semen retain, bro, you are you are literally you are literally gonna have blue balls and it's gonna hurt like a bitch to the point where you are going to approach chicks, bro. It just you can't not do it, bro. Like it's if you've had blue balls bad enough, bro. Like this shit happened to me, bro. This shit happened to me, bro. Like I had listen, if you have blue balls bad enough, bro, what you're gonna have if you actually see semen retain, which nobody fucking does this shit. Because there are two things that's gonna happen. Because obviously there is sexual transmutation where if you can use that ambition other ways, but you're gonna have nocturnal orgasms or some shit. All right. You're just gonna bust in your sleep like you're fucking 13 or some shit. Because you just have too much fucking semen, bro. Like it is what it is. All right. That's how I know people be fucking lying. People be fucking lying. Yeah, self mastery is key. Lust is a purpose killer, and that's a good point as well because the fact, and that's another thing. Like everybody is inspired by someone who's in shape because that person obviously gave up their lust for food, which is a thing, right? Gluttony, right? Greed, their lust for food, their lust for distraction, their lust for sex, all that stuff. They gave all of that up to be on body game. Like they gave all of that up, and they were disciplined. Everyone has tried a fitness journey. I repeat, everyone has tried a fitness journey. So when they see that you're in shape, they're like, "Wow!" After he got hungry, he still didn't eat, the cookies. Wow! After he was tired, he still went to the gym. Now, because as soon as Duke Dennis mentioned he hadn't whacked his shit in 2 years, I had to lock in. Come on, bro. Come on now. You gotta lock in, bro. You gotta lock in for sure, man. You gotta lock in because it's really like that shit will. A lot of people say they lack motivation or ambition. It's because you're literally getting rid of what gives you motivation and ambition, right? You're literally just whacking your shit, getting dopamine hits all the fucking time. All right. And like the thing is, people can see because it's gonna be hard for you to make eye contact and hold your head up high when you've been whacking your shit because you feel ashamed. Like you just do. Like I'm not gonna lie, you feel ashamed, right? Versus after you like, after you smash a baddie or some shit, you'll be like, okay, I'm really him. I'm really him. You'll feel different. You see what I'm saying? Or if you're just self-disciplined, you have all that testosterone. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna have that as an issue. A lot of people have testosterone issues at like 20 years old because they've been gooning for like 10 years straight, which is diabolical. All right, let's keep it a buck. That's the reason. That's the number one reason. And when you're gooning, it's pretty hard to be because discipline goes to every aspect. So if you're gooning, you're not going to be disciplined in the kitchen because you're going to lose a lot of ambition anyways, and you're going to feel weak as shit. Like it's very simple. So if you're gooning, you're not going to be disciplined in the gym, obviously, or in nutrition. Can't buy a physique, man. G shit, bro. You could rent a Lambo. You can't rent a physique, bro. G shit. First Dex on Monday. Good shit, man. Good shit. But yeah, man, like most people could, like I said, most people could go rent a Lambo, rent an Airbnb, and like flex on IG, rent some Balenciagas, because you could rent clothes too. You can rent all that shit. They can rent all that stuff. Look rich on Insta, and they're gonna pull some chicks, right? They're gonna pull some gold diggers because the chick's gonna be like, oh, this dude likes to spend money, so I'm gonna use him for his money. Meanwhile, she'll probably see some other dude on there who's in shape, and she'll probably use him, for smashing, but she'll use the other dude for money because that's what he's leading with. Simple. You know what though? The This whole thing's like everything's a psyop though, because you got to realize when you have victim mindset instilled in you, number one, when you're pushed these foods like cereal and all this stuff that adds fat, it's just gonna increase your body fat, increase your estrogen levels, right? So obviously you're not gonna be on body games. So obviously you're not gonna be pulling chicks. So then you'll be like, okay, well, let me listen to what they say online. If you listen to what these chicks say online and you don't watch what they do, then you're cooked. Because every time, every time you see a single mom, guess what she says in a post? She'll be like this was him when he was like loyal and he said he would stay with me. Every dude in the comment section is like, yo, I know that nigga, bro. That nigga's not gonna stay with you. It's pretty obvious, right? Everyone knows that shit, right? So that's what she's doing. So follow what they do, not what they say. But if you're not, obviously, if you're not disciplined in the gym, you don't really think on your own. You kind of just do what the government says as far as like eating, and you don't eat steak or eggs because they say don't eat that shit. They say eat fucking frosted flakes. So you're eating frosted flakes. Then yeah, you're gonna be out of shape. You're gonna feel like shit. You're not gonna have that discipline, that structure that you get from actually working out and eating right. So, and that mental clarity as well. You're gonna have excess fat. You're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna have no confidence. So you're gonna try to overcompensate with money and quote unquote personality. Exactly. That energy precious bro. ASL means as life, bro. I swear to God. But anyways, energy precious as life. Only thing is, I've always been confident. So when it didn't pass, it was more subconscious confidence decline. Yeah, man. It is what it is, man. It's one of those things. Just like when you eat a bunch of shit, you just feel shitty. You can't not feel shitty. All right. If you eat a bunch of now, if you if you're about to um, play in like a NFL football game and you eat a bunch of cookies and candy, you're gonna literally metabolize that in the game. But if you're just sitting at home, you did one workout for the day and you're eating a bunch of cookies and candy, you're gonna feel like shit, right? You're gonna feel like shit. I know you guys be seeing those football players eat, 5,000 calories. That's a deficit for them. All right, don't compare yourself to them unless you're willing to put in the work they do and also have the initial muscle mass that they do, which obviously that's rare as well. All right. Comparison is a thief of joy, especially when you compare without context. Yeah, listen, what I see is a lot of people just look at a random person, they're like, oh, why does he have that? It's like, that dude has been training, for 10 years and his nutrition's been good for 12 years. Your nutrition's been good for 12 hours and you've been training for 4 hours. Like, what are you like? Why are you comparing yourself to that person? Like, people do that shit a lot. Bro, ASL means as life, bro. I'm changing that shit, bro. Just like I literally learned like last year that vlog is not vlog. I was like, why is vlog not vlog? It looks like it should say vlog. Even though blog says blog, vlog looks like vlog because you can't put a V and an L next to each other and make it a word. That shit doesn't make any sense. Is that not weird to people? They just like marry those words. Oh, actually, bro, ASL means American Sign Language, bro. I'll play with you, bro. I'll play with you, bro. Pretty much everyone I grew up with is fat now. It's crazy. 10 years out of high school. I closely monitored this. I closely monitored everyone in like after high school because in college, some of them were staying in shape because, like I say, in college is walkable. Number one, college people go to the gym. Like people go to the gym together. It's an event. It's a social event. When you go out in college, first of all, you're walking on campus during the day, right? You're doing activities, so you don't spend a lot of time eating, a bunch of food and shit. And then you eat one big ass meal, and then you keep walking again. Vladimir, oh, that's deep. That's deep. Okay, okay, you're right. Bro's right, bro. But vlog is just nasty. Come on, bro. Let's be honest. Vlog should be vlog. All right. So I used to say vlog for the longest, and people were like, "What the fuck is a vlog?" But yeah, I guess we'll say it's vlog for now. Listen, surprisingly, not that anybody cares, but surprisingly, I got like a 30 on my English SAT part, or was it a 31? Some shit like that. Only because I read though. Anyway, what was I gonna say? I think what was my ACT like a 20? I think I got like a 29 or some shit, something like that. Anyways, the guy who got me into the gym is now fat. We don't talk anymore, but it's crazy. Holy shit, yeah, that's crazy. You got to remember that being lean and staying in shape is fucking annoying because you have to consistently be self aware in the beginning, but then after that, it's the second nature, right? You got to get to the point where it makes it second nature. You as someone who's in shape, you realize that you stay self aware longer than everybody else. I'm always going to use I will always use the matrix example of Cipher, right? I'm always going to use that example. Like he wanted to go back to the blue pill. That's most people. Once they see, I've literally had so many people, specifically on TikTok Live, TikTok DMs, Instagram DMs, are like, yeah. Once I saw, that Ben and Jerry's had 1,000 calories, I was like, yeah, I'm not tracking this shit no more. That's too hard. Like, I can't have my favorite snacks. And I'm like, well, that's why you're one of the biggest bitches I've ever seen. Period. Honestly, just kind of eat whatever as long as I'm in the deficit. For now, hitting my protein's a good thing. I don't even care for sweets. Yeah, when you focus on high protein in a deficit, you're gonna gravitate towards whole foods because you need fiber, right? And you need high protein without going over your calories. So you're gonna gravitate towards lean meats and whole foods. This is natural. At least you've been to college. True, true, true. Do you think joining the military is a good idea if you're in your late 20s? I mean, yeah. It depends on what you want. It's a decision, so that means write out the pros and cons, and then look at your other options, of course. But I mean, a lot of people in the military travel the world. They pay off your loans or they pay for you to go to school. So those are opportunities. It depends on how you utilize it, of course, like everything in life. Because one thing could be, a nightmare for someone, and it could be heaven for someone else. If you have no other options, probably not. I mean, like I said, it depends on how you leverage it. Millions off of YouTube is crazy. That's crazy. People are too locked into packaged foods in this country. Yeah, but it's still they're still over consuming. It's still over consuming. Oh shit! I got a 95 on the ASVAB. Good shit. Wait, so that does that mean you went to you were you got qualified to be a what do they call it? The engineer? The engineer shit? Because the only reason I didn't go to the because I was in the Navy, right? And I think I got like bro, it was crazy. I got like a 97 on the ASVAB or some shit. Can't remember what it was. I got to look it up. It was like a 97 on ASVAB, but they didn't have any engineering jobs open until the next shipment. So then I waited it out, and I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna do this. I'm experimenting with dedicated ab days. Male model friends all do it just to see what happens. Yeah, also make sure you look at their body fat percentage as well. Yeah, also make sure you look at their body fat percentage. Cause yeah, cause my boys like they got good abs. I've never seen them hit abs before. I don't even know if abs hit them, bro. Here he goes. Here goes Mr. Troll, number one troll of all time. 40% body fat eating crumble cookies. I'm gonna get Hey, you know what's so funny about this shit, bro? The second part of that message is actually, I mean, what is it? It's not June yet, but this is actual real. This is a real thing that's gonna happen in June, and then in January, someone's gonna be like, specifically January, they're gonna be like, "Yo, I seen you. You inspired me, bro. You inspired me, bro. So like, here's what I'm doing, like, cause I want to be smarter than most people. So I'm actually mixing fasting with keto, cause I'm trying to get the best of everything, and I'm gonna do a little bit of CrossFit, but then I'm gonna do like like a lot of running too, and I'm gonna get to where you are in 3 months. And I'm like, you know what? God bless you, bro. Because I mean, you're gonna need Jesus. Like it's just you're just cooked. All right, thoughts on carnivore diet. All right, so I know someone in the comment section was like, "There's a lot of lean people who do carnivore." Blah 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 blah. Listen, if you're disciplined enough to do carnivore, right, then yeah, you're gonna be lean, but you're cutting out fucking carbs. You don't have to do that to reduce your body fat percentage. A lot of people in the comment section will be like 40% body fat, be like, oh, you don't like carnivore? Well, it works for me. I'm like, clearly not, nigga. You're fat as fuck, bro. Like seriously, this is a real thing. But for most people, if you're trying to go from 40, 30, or 20% body fat down to 15, 10, you don't need carnivore. You literally need to be in a calorie deficit. When you lose weight from keto or carnivore, it's because you're in a deficit. When you can't sustain it, it's because it's too fucking restrictive, unnecessarily restrictive. Like I don't know why people don't understand this shit. Do you regret not joining the Navy? It must have been meant to be. I don't regret it because I would have to like shave my head and But I mean, I feel like I would have ended up in the same place anyways. Chat is 12 a.m. and I ate 800 calories. What restaurant should I pick up at this time of night? Bro, go to sleep, bro. Go to sleep, bro. You listen. You're being reactive right now. You got to be proactive. You got to be fucking locked in. Like that's unlocked in. Everything should be mapped out. All right, you should never get to a point where you're reacting to shit like, damn, bro, it's 11 p.m. I got to work out. No, you should have scheduled your workout so you can get that shit in. All right, if you're in a reactive state, you're cooked. It's like when people are like, damn, bro, like, rent's due tomorrow, bro. It's like, it's been due the same time every fucking month for the past 3,000 years. Like, or damn, the sun just came up. It's always done that, nigga. Like, why are you surprised by what happens? Can I drop 100 pounds in 3 months? If you weigh 1,200 pounds, then yeah, for sure. Like if you weigh 1,200 pounds, and if you do weigh 1,200 pounds, send me a picture. So I can post you on my story and be like, what the fuck is this? Okay, anyway, scrape your tongue. It will increase your chances with the ladies. Seriously? Funny enough, bro. When I was first like on Bodygame and shit, when I was first on Bodygame and shit, bro. You could ask my brother, bro, but I was literally so locked into work and shit, bro. I swear I smelled like ass 24/7, bro. I didn't even own cologne, bro, and I was pulling chicks left and right, bro, just smelling like testosterone, bro. Swear to God. And then I used to see people. I used to see people on like on YouTube and shit. They used to be like, yeah, here's the best scent. Like if you get this scent, you'll get more chicks. And I was like, bro, I smell like the first human on fucking Earth, bro. I smell like the first human on Earth. Like there's no way, bro. Like it was pretty bad. It was horrible. Yeah, like listen. Lucky Leo said it. You should know what you're gonna eat the day before. This is bare minimum shit, man. Listen, Javante, you're very young. But what you've gotten from this live is that you got to lock in for real, for real. All right, you got to lock in for real. Your actions are always gonna give me enough information. All right, it's always gonna give me enough information. So right now you're kind of locked in, but you're kind of not, which means you're not locked in because you don't get results from kind of, from leaving the door half open, from being 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You're not getting any fucking results doing that. You got to be all the way locked in. Close the door behind you. Lock the fuck in. I call them cologne copers, fat dudes on YouTube talk about panty dropper colognes. Yeah, there's some fat bro. There's some fat dudes. All right, this is the last thing I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna head out because I got some shit I gotta do. And I probably gotta slide to immigration and shit. I got a lot of shit to do today. Then I gotta see because I got a call in the morning. But anyways, what was I gonna say? Yeah, the video is been frozen, bro. I'm just yapping. All you hear is the yapping. Yapologist here. But yeah, what I was gonna say is there's a bunch of out of shape dudes that are like, yeah, man, America's cooked, man. America's cooked, bro. Like, just go overseas, bro. Go overseas. It's like, listen, you have titties, all right? When you land in a different country, you're still gonna have those titties. Specific, bro. If you have titties in another country, you're gonna stand out in the worst way, even worse, bro. Then you're definitely gonna have to do pay for play, right? That's what most, bro. I'll keep it a buck with you. That's what most people be doing, bro. These people that be flying everywhere, bro, they just be doing pay for play, bro. I'll keep it a buck. That's all they be fucking doing. They be saying, "Oh, yo, this is like it's different over here." Like, no, 6 foot 280. Yeah, you're not gonna be lean by summer, bro. You're fucking 6 foot 280. Maybe summer 2026. But yeah, you're not gonna be lean by 2025. What the fuck, bro? I would say sweet greens. Yeah, listen. The reason you got to 280 was consistent years of eating too much food. So in order to get lean, obviously you're gonna need consistent years of eating healthy, which means you're gonna have to change your mindset, which takes time. You're not changing your mindset overnight. It's just like it's the same thing for a lot of dudes who are like, yo, I watched a bunch of videos, bro. I'm red pill now or some shit like that. It's like, yo, I didn't even know what the fucking word red pill was, and you can't be quote unquote red pill until you experience a bunch of shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got to go through a lot of shit to even like change your mindset, because at the end of the day, we are naive by nature. So if we don't get fucked over, right, or we don't see we're not exposed to a lot of stuff, it's not gonna stick, right? It's not gonna stick. We're gonna still believe like, no, like all women are virgins. I swear to you. I swear to you. Like, you're still gonna believe that shit until you go through a bunch of shit and you're seeing different situations, you're exposed to it. Cause I was telling my brother this shit when he was younger, and he was just like, maybe. And then he started seeing this shit, like chicks with girlfriends, like, linking with him. I mean, chicks with boyfriends linking with him and then telling him after and shit like that. I mean, you don't have to put the ego to the side because the journey is gonna humble you every time, bro. Listen, going into the journey with the ego is the funniest thing of all time. Cause I do that shit all the time. I'm like, yeah, man, it don't matter, man. I'm gonna drop 5% easy. No, science doesn't change for anybody, bro. Science doesn't give a fuck what your name is, bro. It doesn't care, bro. If your name is David Goggins, it doesn't give a fuck. Science does not care. Yo, real question: is 20 grams of protein from a protein bar the same as 20 grams from Whole Foods? Like chicken or fish, apparently it doesn't absorb. I would say it's the same, bro. I would say it's the same. Like the main issue, the main thing I use protein bars for is like, just imagine every time you eat a protein bar, someone is eating like, two Snickers or like a Hershey's bar. What's a good 4 day workout? Just lift weights for 4 days, bro. Lift weights for 4 days. Do push pull legs, and then repeat. Take a rest day and repeat. Literally simple. Or do upper lower rest day and then repeat. Or do a form of bro split, which is going to be a form of upper lower anyways, or a form of push pull legs. They're all the same thing because you're going to be doing compound movements in all of them anyways. And as far as nutrition, stop eating shit, right? Because that's clearly what's going on. Eat more whole foods. Eat more whole foods. So when you go to the grocery store, that's where it starts. Go to the grocery store, get lean meats, get fruits and vegetables. Get some whole wheat bread, get some rice, get some oatmeal, and start cooking everything at home. Stop eating out, all right? But also eat higher protein and eat more consistently throughout the day to prevent binges. Because a lot of times people only binge because they starve the whole day and they get hungry as shit, and then they go too far. I mean, you don't need cardio right now, bro. You just need to clean up your nutrition. Clean up your nutrition. It's not that deep. Why does everyone want cardio so bad, bro? Everyone who does, listen. When I go to the gym, specifically, if I go to the gym with my last few times I went to the gym with my homeboys, Houston, LA, New York, we go to the gym. We're strength training, and then we see some lean dudes strength training too. Everyone who's lean is strength training. Everyone who's super overweight is doing cardio. It's because their mindset is like, let me burn off what I ate. Focus on fucking nutrition. Most important thing. It'll change your life. But I'm gonna check them out. See if there's a location close by. Pick a Waffle House. Yeah. Yeah. Javante, you just got to plan ahead, bro. But you're still young. He's still young. All right. You're young as shit, dude. You're young as shit. So you're just learning. Yeah, bro, you can't binge on steak and potatoes. That shit's fucking impossible, bro. It's so funny to me because it's like if you eat appetizers at a restaurant, it'll be tortilla chips, right? If you eat tortilla chips, then like those tortilla chips that they taste like nothing, they're fried, so they're 1,000 calories. You eat the steak and potatoes as the entree, that's 450 to 500 calories, but you're way more full. It's crazy. It's crazy. Smoked salmon on rice cakes is my new favorite meal. Yo, have you guys ever had blackened smoked salmon? That shit tastes like fucking fried chicken, nigga. That shit's good as fuck. But yeah, like here's the thing. Here's the thing, man. Like victim mindset is what the journey is gonna get out of you. It's gonna remove that from you, right? You're gonna outwork your doubt. But yeah, like the most important thing is like I don't know why people think you have to do a specific diet or you have to do a bunch of cardio. That shit just makes no sense. Your goal is to build as much muscle as possible and lose fat, right? Simple shit. Very, very simple shit. Build muscle, lose fat, right? What does that mean? That means you're gonna do stuff that's a little bit boringer than the shit you see on Instagram. You're not gonna be doing backflips and shit. All right. You're not gonna be doing goofy shit and burpees and shit. You're not gonna be doing all that shit. You're gonna keep it super simple. You're not gonna be doing backflips, cartwheels, all that shit. You're literally just gonna be eating high protein, simple as shit, lifting weights, and being patient because that's what's gonna get you the best results. All right. Go to the gym. You see the dudes lifting weights, they're lean. Look on the cardio machines, it's a bunch of big bags every time. All right. Why? Because what happens outside the gym? Like there was a dude at the gym. He's like, "Yo, I dropped some weight, bro, but like, how do I get my abs like that?" And I told, as soon as I say nutrition, he literally just he was like, "Oh shit!" Like you can see his facial expression, like he died inside when I said nutrition. I was like, "Yeah, bro, just lock in, bro. Lock in, bro. Eat the same shit every day." He's like, "Oh, that's crazy." I'm like, "No, it's not. You're probably eating the same thing every day right now, which is how you get fat as fuck." You hate feeling hungry. At 6 foot 280, you shouldn't be feeling hungry. You're not eating the right foods. You're probably trying to starve yourself and you're probably trying to overdo it. That's why, right? You're probably, whatever you're eating right now, you're probably eating close to 4,000 calories, 3,500, that range. So when you do a cut, start it off slow. Do 3,000 calories or some shit like that. Just change the food you're eating, right? Because that's going to change your visceral fat off rip. Simple. I see that all the time. People don't pace themselves, all right? If you're, and I did say this on the last, I said this on the last like 10 lives, by the way, because I get these DMs every day. If you're between 5'10" and 6'3" and between 250 and like 350, or let's say 250 and 350, you're gonna lose fat on like 2,800 calories, right? Maybe 3,000, even 3,500. It'll just be slower. Just change the food you're eating. Like you can eat a fuckload of food and still lose fat. The problem is those people are trying to go lower calorie than I would ever go. Like a lot of people try to go 1,800 calories, which is insane. It's like you don't need that unless you're 10% body fat trying to get to 9, 8, 7. 100 burpees under 13 minutes first week, and 12 minutes last week. Now I'm on 11. Oh, you're progressively overloading burpees. Good shit. Have you ever run, jog during your fat loss phase? No. I would only run or jog for mental clarity, or if I was gonna run a race, I'm not gonna do it for fat loss. I had a crazy binge and gained all my weight back. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You gained water weight. Congratulations. Here's the thing. After you finish a cut, I use myself as an example. After I finish a cut, if I go back to maintenance, guess what? I'm going to gain 5 pounds, 5 to 7 pounds of water weight. If I lost a pound or two during the cut, if it's a long cut and I lost a pound or two, same thing for people who do stage competitions. If I lost a pound or two, I'm not going to gain that pound or two back. So I could gain up to 7 pounds. If I go get my body fat tested, my body fat will go down. Simple. Do supplement fiber. I just eat that. Like I said, I do berries, apples, a lot of water intake, and then I keep my fats pretty high too. That usually helps. But almonds and shit like that have fiber in it too. If you really need fiber, chia seeds. Like if you're still not hitting your fiber. But then sweet potatoes as well. I feel like more dudes would take fitness journey more seriously if they compared it to an RPG video game. Yeah, man, you're supposed to. But they get so fixated on the video games and not actual real life, which is sad. But anyways, y'all, I'm gonna people drop the cows that low. They like to see results faster. No, you're not gonna see. Oh my gosh, you're not gonna lose. You're not gonna lose fat faster. You're gonna lose weight faster. You might lose some muscle. But that's just dumb as hell. It took you a fuckload of time to get fat. So why are you trying to rush the process of getting lean? That's just gonna make you. That's why you're in the cycle of binging. You don't get tired of eating the same thing every day. When you get fat, you eat the same shit every day. So when you get lean, you do the same shit. There's no difference. Every person that I've seen that's out of shape, they eat the same shit every day. They go to Chick-fil-A, they get number one, right? And then they're like, oh, I'm picky eater. No, you just have no fucking discipline. You're not a picky eater. You're not special. You don't have different taste buds. You just have no discipline. All right? It's that simple. You're not going to see results faster. You're not losing. Now, if you get a body fat test, you're going to see that you're losing lean body mass faster. And then you're going to see you have saggy skin, more likely. So if you want to, go ahead and add cardio, do a bunch of cardio, eat 1,900 calories, and then when you have loose skin, please don't ask me any questions. All right. I've only seen this 1,000 times. All right. Literally. But everyone I've ever seen that gets fat, like the dude earlier said, after 10 years, everyone in high school got fat. If you look at their story, they've been eating the same shit for 10 years. Maybe it's Jamaican food, Haitian food, Mexican food. They've been eating the same shit for 10 years. That's how they got fat as fuck, right? And then you see someone else who's getting leaner, they're eating the same shit over and over. Tennis elbow, delaying your progress. You're gonna have to limit the. You're gonna have to do more machines, but stay locked in with the nutrition. You'll be good. Worst case scenario, you get like worst case scenario. You're a truck driver. You get stuck on the road like 7 days in a row. You can't work out. If you ate healthy those 7 days, you're not gaining any fat. It's just not happening. See what I'm saying? Walking is good for mental clarity and to increase your NEAT if you plateaued. But I would use it mostly for mental clarity or digestion or something like that. Like think about it that way. Daryl Hughes, that's Chick-fil-A. All right, God. Anyways, I'm out, y'all. I'm out, man. Y'all are a little bit too funny today.